What about now? We all hold for one moment. A lot of red up here. For those of you that came, thank you. I'm quite sure you won't regret it, even if you don't see the instant advantage of it today. If you will remember what you hear, what you've seen, and be able to apply it when it's necessary, which should be now. If not, you will see it. And then you will realize the gift that has been shared with you from me. Today, I don't have a particular subject. Since I've been here in California for 3 or 4 times now, I think it's about 5 or 6 times I've been here, and almost every time I've been at this particular church. I do thank the pastor and the ones that's here for allowing us to use the church. I think the last time we were here, we had just about a full house. However, today, it looks like about half that size. And things have got twice as bad. Yeah. So I don't know if the others is in deep trouble and couldn't make it. Or they just were not interested. You know, one of the main fallacies that everybody stumbles on or over is what Allah is and how He is and why He's that. Never looking at the rhythm of nature. Can you all hear me? Yes, sir. Whenever anything of significance, if it's coming from nature or being presented from nature, it is always presented in a very small, minute form. Even the pole journey. It don't come at you like no Mack truck. You can't see it. After a while, everybody knows you got it. So Allah does not break His own law, which is me. I'm not breaking it. Since I have been speaking with you all, you have not came to Kansas. You have not seen what we're really doing. You can only picture it in your mind, or if you read our website. And if you're void of vision, even reading the website, you still won't see it. Because in your mind, most people think that Allah is supposed to do this, He's supposed to do that, He's supposed to be rah, 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 rah in your mind. Then we ask you, where did you get that mind from? Where did you get it from? Usually it comes from the preacher or your parents that got it from the preacher. And where they got it from is from the Caucasian. If the preacher has his license to teach, he went to a seminary school. And look, guess who taught him? Now, there is no big mystery about whether Caucasians are righteous. Ain't no mystery about that. However, you're going to allow them to dictate to you who God is and how He should appear. You listening, black man?
Yes, sir.
Every black man on the planet should be exceedingly happy that God is black. Yes, and that He has now shown up and kept His promise. But most of you, are so hung up in what white folks has told you, because it's white folks that you get everything from. You get everything from that. You get your schooling, you get your Wheaties, your Cheerios, your thing come from white folks. So when white folks say, he puts it in the book as to what God is and how He should look, but He does it in such a way that it's almost like comfort. God was great back in the day. Nobody seen Him, but He was great. In the 10 Commandments, He opened up the sea and swallowed up Pharaoh's army. But you never seen God. Never did see it. Well, today, according to what has been written, a prophecy, at the end of time. It didn't say prophet would show up. It didn't say a spook would show up. It said God himself would come at the end of time. To do what? Just to come and talk? I think you've had enough of that. However, in the book it reads, let him that has an ear hear. So I must say something that agrees with your nature in accord with what's written and the time. And then beyond that, I must begin doing. And I've done just that. How many of you all here have perused or looked at the website that we have? Not many of you. It's a shame. How would either one of you all like to be God? I mean, really be God. Not a God, be God. You know, and you come home. Your family is in dire need of relief from having stress, constant disappointment, stressed out. And you come home with all of the relief. However, you can't force it on them. You can only offer it to them. And they in turn say, well, you've been going this long, I don't want it. However, it's your house and your family. What you going to do, God? You're going to turn around and say, well, okay, if you don't want it, just leave. No. If any leaving is to be done, it will be those that's in the house. Because the house don't belong to them. The author of the house is the one that just came home. And he would be less than God to call someone in his home to run him back out as though they have the authority to be there. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Well, I certainly hope so. If you all don't peruse the net and see what we're doing, this may make sense to you spiritually and mentally. But you won't see the power in it until you look and see what it is producing. I have a system set up and in motion. A system that can be added to, multiplied, magnified. Nobody else has that. Nobody. Yeah, they may have 4 or 5 mansions, 2 or 3 Rolls Royces and Bentley, may have a helicopter or 2. No system. That's what they have for themselves. And because they have it, guess where they're going to end up with it? Is this too hard?
No, sir.
You know, 10 is a number that's very significant because it represents another start. From 0 to 9 is the completion of the number system. You can't go no further. From 0 until 9, you can't go any further. When you get to 9, that's the period. It always comes back to itself, 9. I don't care how you use the numbers. If 9 is involved, it's going to come back to 9. Then you know that's it. Now you got to start back over again. That's a blessing for the wide awake man, because it gives you another opportunity to do what you should have done when you didn't have the knowledge. I'm quite sure you all heard of living 9-year cycles. Have you not?
Yes, sir.
Well, when you're a child, you're still living it. The only difference is that you are not the master of what happens to you. So your parents are supposed to be intelligent enough to make sure you grow and go through that period learning. Sometimes you're born and start off in the 9th year. And a lot of times when a child is born and go through that, the parents say, this is a really unruly child. Because he started off in the finality of what he's supposed to be in, where everything he's supposed to learn from 0 until 9, they're on him now. If he hasn't learned, somebody has to protect him. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Well, 1993, if I'm not mistaken, I started going public with this. 10 years. 10 years. And within the 10-year span or period, we have now in motion communication system, transportation system, housing, almost, we can say welfare almost, for the ones that's with us 24/24. We have that already in system, in the system in work. The farming, the canning, sewing factories. This is in motion as I speak. A banking system. Not a bank yet, a banking system. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
This is already in motion. International trade. Abbas Rasul, the National Secretary, was the messenger or the Nation of Islam. When the messenger was with us, as I speak, is in the bush in Africa now, dealing with our brothers and fathers to ensure that we make it through this hard time that's coming up looking like a jewel.
Yes, sir.
But did either one of you all help for that to come about? No. No. I'm getting cussed. I'm being called everything but God. Everything but God. And most of you that's calling me that have got a balloon factory.
That's right.
Matter of fact, as long as it's so weak, barely can blow up the balloon. You're all in a terrible shape. A terrible, terrible shape. So much so, it requires God. Because nobody else can fix it. No one else can repair it. No one else can do anything with it. And you can't say I'm lying. I think it was yesterday. Wasn't it supposed to be 100,000 man march? And that march was because everybody was living so well. What was it? It was postponed until May?
Yes, sir.
Well, even the intentions of it, the purpose of it, is for what? It's because everything is going so well? You're going to march to let everybody know how happy we are? The very reason for the march is why I'm here.
Yes, sir.
But you want to look past it, look over it, look around it, look under it, never at it. Pitiful, pitiful. Matter of fact, while I was in the presence of the angels, they were telling me, Royall, if we had been free to have our way, we were going to kill all of them. However, you stopped it. And I said, I did? Yes. You said you would go and get it. So now is the time. So I've been on my post, keeping my promise. Even at that, with millions of black people, to show you that this is just what you see is an example of just what will be saved. We got somewhere close to 40 million black people in North America. According to the prophet, God himself, the spirit, and the angels, it said it wouldn't be no more than 144,000 out of millions. Well, Royall, why are you speaking this way? Because I don't want no one to have an excuse as to why you done it. And don't call me up and say, well, Father, I'm having a hard time. I said, are you with me? Well, no, I heard one of your tapes and everything. And well, when did you hear that? It was about 5 or 6 years ago, but I've been keeping up with you. You have? I'm not ill. And you keeping up with me? Well, you understand what's being said? There's a limit to everything. There's a limit set to everything. Even if you're pregnant, you got caught, didn't want it. It cannot be concealed but so long. There's an appointed time. And what you try to keep a secret, most certainly is going to come to the light. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Well, it appears to me that the black man himself and those that are within my biological family is doing all within their power and all that Satan will give them power to do to make sure that I remain a secret. Impossible. Impossible. We're in a church here today, speaking. Most everything I see is usually, if the face is black. What difference does it make to change the face of the person's color if you're teaching the same doctrine as a man that is of sin? Totally. Just because you have a black face on the wall and teaching the same white Jesus theory, there's no difference. That's even worse. It's like now your own parents are tricking you.
That's right.
Are you?
Yes, sir.
No disrespect to the church, however, I am that I am. I would not show up here before you and lie to you or act as though I'm absolutely frightened or afraid of you. Our thinking, or you all thinking, has got to change.
That's right.
It has got to change. I'm going to open the floor up in a few moments. How much time do we have in this church? Until 9 p.m.? I may run out of something to say by then. Don't think so? Must have been to some other meeting. For the last 10 years, I have been working diligently even against your own willingness to hear or accept. However, I know that you are listening because of the tape sales. When they call and say, Father, we got to spend another $500 for blank tape. So why is that? The lecture you did, we're getting requests from them all over the country. So they're being mailed out. So somebody is listening. However, if I go to a city and say, well, look, I'll be there and so date, let them know. It's on TV, on the radio, in the newspaper. Brothers go out hand to hand, face to face. Pastor, I talk to them. How many show up? And then, the biggest diverter of the black man from me is Minister Luke. The man that we gave the authority to sit in the seat of the messenger in his absence. However, it was written, and you know, this is something else too. Every time the truth of why you're not with me is told from me, the God that has the right to say it, I start seeing faces swell all up like you just hate that. Maybe you should try being God.
Yes, sir.
And do what I'm doing. Where the problem is, I'm not supposed to point it out. If you're riding down the street and your car going bloom, 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 and I pull up beside and say you got a flat, most of the time the people say thank you. So now point this out, oh, he ought to go someplace. He just want to talk about the ministry. I don't talk about the ministry. I speak truth concerning him. And already said within the 10 years, Royall is Allah. Or Royall is a man that is close to Allah. He bears us the right to pay attention to what the man is saying and doing. That's all he has to say. Then if he don't do it, he couldn't be held accountable. Because he can say, I told him. They didn't want to go. That has not not been done. Matter of fact, the very opposite has been done. I'm talking to you, black man, because there's no black person greater than the next, including him. We didn't bring him here to save only him. He was supposed to be an instrument, a vessel for your salvation, not for you to bump him up, hold him up, and that's it. But your thinking is so narrow, so personal. My ministry. I think the first time I got on was Washington, D.C. and here. If he's your minister, did you prepare him?
That's right.
Did you ordain him? Are you backing him up? Are you protecting him? If you're doing all that, then he is your minister. If not, the best you can say, he is the minister. What did you minister? Salvation for Iraq? As though you, black man, are not catching hell every day, you're not living in it? I got a system that absolutely takes you out of hell. For real. For real, for real. People are living it as I'm speaking to you. They want to portray, well, it's in the call. They can't call out somebody listening on the phone. They can't go to the store unless they ask. They can't go to the movie unless they ask. Do you have to pay money to go to the theater?
Yes, sir.
If you're with me and you don't have no money at all, how you gonna go? If you don't make it known, I want to go to the movie. Not that you ask me, you call and ask the secretary. Look, I want to take me and my wife out to the theater. We want to go see so-and-so. Well, how much are you going to need? Well, it's 4 of us in the family, so we're going to need a good $40. Let me check the purse and see if that will support that. And if it supports it, I don't see no reason why you can't go. Come pick it up. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Especially if the purpose for the ones that's 100% with this full-time volunteers is to be able to think outside of the need that this world puts on you. To be able to come up with what's in you, like the book reads. For within them is the kingdom of heaven. You can't bring it out if you're worried about how you're going to pay your rent. You can't bring it out if you're worried about how you can put food on your table. You can't do that because your mind is divided. You're not going to your job. You're not going to your business. You're going to your enemy's job, your enemy's business. And you're going to have to do what he says do. At least as much of it as you can keep from being fighting. And then this generation that has come up now, nobody wants them. They can't get a job, so they rap and sell drugs. So everybody is messed up. Everybody. You go to the doctor, he's high. Yes. Give you the wrong medicine. Diluting the medicine. Keeping some for himself. Everything is shot. It's gone to hell. It's reached its zenith. There is no divinity in nothing. Not even in the nation of Islam. Not even Lewis. He is nowhere near divine. You can't find no divinity in him, and it's already written in Scripture. When he finally decided to make his mind up to turn everything over, as he should have already done it, the very first day, you promised not to kill. What makes you think you're worthy of death? Right. If you're not guilty, why would you even say that? He sent word to me. I'll give it up if you don't take my life. It's in the book, isn't it, Brother Minister? Read it in 1 Kings. But you're all taking it as though that happened in the past. That ain't happened in the past. The Bible is a book of prophecy.
Yes, sir.
It's a book that's pregnant.
Right.
Meaning that life is going to come forth at a later date. However, there is evidence of it now. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
Of course, you know what the answer was, right? Wise answer. It wasn't, well, yes, if you turn it over, I ain't going to do nothing to you. Nope, wasn't that way. It wasn't, well, you just now decided to turn it over? Well, I'll think about it. Wasn't that way. The answer was and still is. If righteousness can be found in you, not a hair of your head will be harmed. If unrighteousness is found in you, then yes, you will surely die.
Yes, sir.
Are you listening? Because unrighteousness has been issued out to the people from the seat of authority, from God's seat, from God's house, making it seem as though this is what God wants, when in fact, it's exact opposite. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Is this making sense? Are we living this as I speak? If you're going to say that Iraq and the United States are at war because of righteousness and can prove it, I'll shut up and never say another word for the rest of my life. Can't say it, can you? There's a country, Iraq, their government is ran from the base of the Quran. Supposed to be. The book that's supposed to have clear guidance, sure guidance, plain guidance for those who care to be guided aright. But look at it. In other words, black man, it's time for you to get up. Everybody has had their opportunity. If they had it, what else can they do? We're at a time right now that the dreadful has started.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Russia told America, stop this madness now. You hear what I said?
Yes, sir.
They didn't ask them, well, look, United States, will you consider stopping that? Because. They didn't say because nothing. They said stop it now. Because they got the poor dumb American over here thinking that America is right. So if they go over there and bomb Iraq and whatnot, nobody's going to really suffer but just the Iraqis. But everybody does trade with them. Iraq owes Russia billions of dollars. How are they going to get paid? Owes France billions of dollars. How are they going to get paid? You going over there killing everything. Now, I won't never get the money. Then you end up being the boss of it all. Oh, really? Stop it now.
That's right.
Here's the dumb black man over here, thinking that the minister is the man. I mean, how far can you go with stupidity? How far can you go? And for everybody that's still stuck with him, you're totally blind.
Yes.
You don't know nothing about Allah, Jesus, God, or nobody. You don't know nothing about it.
No.
God is not the author of confusion, nor is he the author of mystery. If you receive any mystery, it's because you earned it. That's even if it's the minister, he earned it.
Yes, sir.
All the good words, all the seemingly good deeds, and then he end up with no anus. Ain't no way in the hell you gonna tell me that's love from God. Is that right?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Or you think I'm just saying something that I shouldn't be saying about the minister? Who else can say it? Who else has the right to say it? If he's in my home, and I'm not just talking about the palace. I'm talking about the seat of authority where everybody recognizes this is where Elijah got started. Started with the message for 40-some years. That's the seat or the origin of this movement or this idea. That's the place. And if I'm the author of Elijah, I've got to be the author of the place. Elijah's not God. He never did say he was. He said, I'm the messenger of him. And after me, he himself will come. And he will deal with the black man. And he will judge the ones that inflicted the black man. Isn't that what was said?
Yes, sir.
That's also written. Are you all sleeping?
No, sir.
Well, Los Angeles, you know when I came, when I first started teaching, I gave definitions and explanations and understanding of everything that I spoke about. Even the cities where I went and whatnot, I get the understanding of the city, how it got the name.
Yes, sir.
Where in this particular landmass, where it came from, how it got here. Most of you are, I don't know if you heard it, you forgot it, or you just don't believe it. Nobody has that knowledge unless it is God.
That's right.
Nobody. And you mean to tell me for 10 years, Minister Farrakhan couldn't, or Lewis rather, could not say anything concerning what I and we are doing? If we have a transportation system, and we sent to them an invitation that anytime they wanted to use it, just let us know. Never got a call yet. When we started off in Kansas City, Kansas, which we call heaven, we started off right next door to them was their study class. Right next door to them. And we started putting up the dining. And we asked them, if you want to participate, come on with us. If you want to do something you don't want to be with us, and if you're going to help our community, we'll help you. But they have never come up with nothing where it could be added to. Nothing. Selling papers, that ain't adding nothing. That's adding more money in his pocket.
That's right. It's all good.
But everything we're doing is just as it reads, or you instructed in the prayer. For surely Allah, for surely Allah, you are praised and magnified in thy midst. In thy midst, meaning Allah, really in your midst. And it's being praised for the people that know and understand, and what he's doing is being magnified. Transportation, you got to get around. Food, you got to eat. Clothing, if you're going to be civilized, you should wear decent garments. Housing, you should, since we can't go back into the earth just yet, you should have decent homes. I got it. All you have to do is come and magnify it. But no, I'm everything but the child of God. I'm the false God. I'm the dummy God. I'm the gummy bear. I'm the toothless bear. Never get to being God. But then when you look, well, what is God supposed to do? If he comes and says, I come to take you out of your misery. I come to make you rich. And he shows up, he's supposed to allow you to stay in the same condition that you're in? And says he's doing his job? I don't think so. Do you? How many of you are here for the first time that have never heard or seen me before? Very good. Thank you for coming. 10 years is a good little while to be doing things and still not be heard of. Don't you think? Well, even if it's the last second, if you can just touch the hem of my garment, you'll have it made. However, there is a deadline. There is a deadline. I'm not going to lie to you, and I don't appreciate being lied to. You know, one of the first things that a father must do is to provide protection for his family. Number one. That comes before feeding them. He's got to protect them. He has to have a house or housing for his family to protect them from the elements and from other would-be villains that would prey on them. He's got to protect them. And the best protection that he does is protect them in the way that they think. You've heard the saying before, right? As a man thinketh, so is he. So the best protection the father can do is to make sure that he is protecting his family in the way that they think. So with me being the real father of the black man, not of my children, of the black man, the nature of the black man, the godhood of the black man, I am the author or the God of that. I'm the Allah of that. I'm the father because I'm first. So when you come with me, since we're in the belly of hell, and you come with me, what do you think you're coming with? You're coming to me. You're not coming bringing me to me. You're bringing Satan to me with the willingness to allow me to help you get rid of him. Would you agree?
Yes, sir.
So the very first thing that we have to do when you come to heaven, in the beginning, is that we have to make sure who you were talking to outside of heaven. Because once you call them up and tell them what you are seeing and encountering, Satan has a way to explain to them how stupid they are. And then the Satan in them attacks that and comes up and they start to agree with it. Now you got trouble in heaven. That used to be. Now heaven has gotten to be so grown or grown enough that practice is not necessary any longer. Because there is enough checkpoints. Brothers and sisters that have gone to mathematical thinking classes and is working every day, living what they're being taught. Not memorizing it and go through something else. So when you come, black man, you think, well, you come with something in your mind, well, I'll come in your mind. I can't do this. I can't do that. Oh, man, this, what? What do you think? How many of you been in the service? None of y'all been in the service? Few have been in the service. When you first went in for the first 30 days or whatever it is, first 3 months, were you allowed to just go home when you got ready? Could your people just come and see you when they got ready? If the drill sergeant tell you go down and dig a hole 6 feet deep, 3 inches wide, could you tell him hell no and don't do it and still stay there? So if white folks say it, you do it. But if you come into heaven, a place that is supposed to be righteous, a righteous government, righteous, and you coming, you can't come righteous. You can only come submitting to be righteous. So if you was all that righteous, you wouldn't have to come. You could do something right where you are. But how you going to do it if nobody never taught you? How you going to do it if you had never had a father? Elijah was a mother messenger. Farrakhan, a daughter, your sister. Never did you have a father until I showed up. Are you listening? Yes. All right then. Since your father shows up, I'm to make sure that the black man has an example, the right example, to be God, just like his father. So knowing this, I have to do this. I cannot allow my daughter. I cannot allow the minister, because he don't know how to do it. You see? Well, how many children am I really going to end up with? Just a few. Well, if that's all that's going to show up, That's all I will accept. I'm not going to be pushed up in a corner and made to think, well, since nobody's coming, I must be wrong. Do you know how long I've been away from being myself, from my face to your face? You know how long I've been away from you? Because of wrong? Do you know how long? Almost 72 trillion years. My face has not been in yours because of the wrong. Now I'm here, face to face.
Yes, sir.
And since I am here, I'll be damned if you're going to do wrong and think I got to accept it. No, sir, you don't know what hell is yet.
That's right.
I'm telling you, you don't know what hell is yet.
That's right.
We often speak about the fire that's in hell and how hot it is. It never seems to be so hot that it burns Satan. Well, I got a heat that's going to burn him.
That's right.
And I know what I'm talking about because I got it.
That's right.
I'm going to burn him up.
That's right.
He is to be destroyed. Destroyed.
Yes, sir.
Not killed, destroyed. Are you listening, black man?
Yes, sir.
Potential God. Because this is your Father, whether you want to accept it or not. And every one of you all that is reading this crap on the net concerning me, everybody that is writing concerning me in a negative way that was in the nation with me is because they lost a post or position. Avery Walker was a captain, a real stubborn man. Because he lost his post as captain, now he wants to speak out. Maureen, my biological daughter, which is mother. She was the mother. We can't take that from her. She was. Was. You know, the nature of a thing is this. When you first get married and you don't have any children, it is father or husband and wife. Not father. Husband and wife. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
And then, when the husband impregnates the wife, once she has the child, then it is husband and mother, or father and mother. Once the mother has performed her duty as being mother to the child or children, and she grows out of the possibility to even have any more, once she has served the children the way she should have, and that is completed, no longer is she mother, she goes back to being wife. Yes, she was the mother. You can still say yes, but you still call her, yeah, mother. Because that's the habit. However, nature itself, no longer is she in the duty of mother. She's in the perpetual duty of wife. That's what she is now. She started off as wife and she ends up as wife. In between that, she's mother. But nobody teaches you that. You already know it, but it was never brought to your mind. Never brought to your mind. So as long as it's never brought to your mind. Ironic about this? From Minister Lewis, the leader of the Nation of Islam, which ain't no nation, or nobody else has come to ask me nothing. They have not come and said, look, Royall, I don't like what you're saying, I don't like what you're doing. But how in the hell are you doing what you're doing? I mean, sensitive pride people, can I steal a little bit from you? Pretend that, that God gave it to me? But how are you doing this? I'm against you. I got everybody else against you. And you still making progress. How you doing it? Nobody. Isn't that hard? I mean, if it's not to you, it's mighty hard to me. Especially after I went to him. Since I know he didn't have enough sense to come to me, I went to him. since he's the one we left in the seat, let's make sure at least the one that's in the seat has the knowledge to issue out truth to the people. That seemed to be the right thing to do. And that's what I did. Are you following what's being said? You know, I really, really, really do hate a lie. I hate a lie. And these are the type of liars that I hate. When you lie, you know the truth, and you don't have to. If you lie due to circumstances, I understand. I don't hate you because I know why you lie. If you knew me, you wouldn't even have to do that. But since you don't know me, and you're coming to know me, and you're doing that, I understand. I will teach you that you don't have to do that. However, when a man already knows the truth, don't have no circumstances for him to lie about it, that's when hate comes up. Lie for what? Why are you lying? Did I come to say I'm taking something from you? No. Am I here to give you something? Yes. So what's the purpose of lying? And the lie affects thousands of people. As what is the father supposed to do? See all this red up here? You know, as I was getting dressed today, my wife was putting out things for me to wear. I looked on the bed, she had some red underwear there, shorts. I said, boy, I'm really going to be on fire today. Then I gave to the church, and all this is red. Kind of represents pretty good. 10 years, so we're starting all over again. Starting all over again. And those of you that were with the messenger, every 10 years there was a major change in the officials. Every 10 years. You all got it? Who got some questions for me before we leave? You all got some questions? Whatever you have, you may come and ask me. I'm not angry with you because you showed up. So I will express to you my dislike of those that didn't. It's one thing to be a father with no power. It's another to be a father with power and the right and the authority to use it. I'm going to have to do something. Just for the place that you all are placing me in your mind, I'm going to have to do something to take myself out of there. What I'd like to know, are you really ready for that? Are you really ready for that? If you think you are, before you actually make that commitment, call and see if you can talk to the minister or any of his top officials. All of them are quite ill. All of them. Not just him. Since I hate a liar, that's not my practice of doing it, of lying. So check it out. I mean, I didn't go to the house and put nothing in the water. I didn't put nothing in the weeds. Didn't even come around. How many of y'all have read any of the literature from the message? Did any of y'all read this particular passage in the book where he said that the scientists were so wise that they could read your thought before you did it? Anybody recall that?
Yes, sir.
I'm not a scientist. They serve me. And they say, Father, can we do it now? Can we do it now? Hold up a little bit. I got a couple more things to say. They ask me, can they whip you? Are you listening to what I'm saying? They're asking me, can I whip them? They come and say, well, look, Royall, you're taking too long, so we decided to whip him. Ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Because before the thought comes to you, they already have seen it, cancel it out, or let you have it, laugh at you, then spank you. Is making any sense to you? Well, I certainly hope so. I'm mostly talking to the brothers and sisters. It don't mean I'm leaving you out. Because a lot of times the brothers make their mind up, yes, what this man is saying really makes sense. Then when you get home, you turn his mind all the way around. I mean, I was with him until he said something about Jesus. I was with him until he tried to ride on the minister's coattail. And by the time they finish talking with you, you talking just like this. Yeah, well, maybe the brother ain't right. If he was God, he'd have all his teeth. How do you know what God can have? You ain't God, you a dead God, so how you going to tell a live God what he's supposed to have? I mean, simple mathematics. The very first thing I got to do is show up as nothing. If I showed up as what you think I really am, and I am that, wouldn't be nothing left for you but death. Right then, not next week, then. It wouldn't be nothing. It'd be the same thing as the sun fell on the earth. Would no life be on the earth or in it? Are you listening? Well, let me say it this way. With the sun and all of its power, has not got the power to get rid of Satan. And I do. Who's the most powerful? The sun or this sun? Think about it, black man. Ever since creation, ever since the first atom was used in the creation, negative was experienced. Hadn't got rid of it yet. So I show up for the express purpose of destroying it. I didn't come in for no other. I didn't come for no other reason. No other reason. I didn't come to get money. I didn't come to get wives. I didn't come to make children. I didn't come to do anything but destroy death. And it reads in the Bible, the last enemy of God. When he destroys that, it will be death. That's the last enemy of God, is death. And after I completed, then the question was asked, oh, where's your victory? Oh, death, where's your sting? Because it don't exist anymore. But you all can't get past smoking the reefer. You can't get past what you are expressing yourself through rap. You can't get past the money that the big basketball players and football players make. Dreaming. So the harder I start teaching and speaking and doing, the more white folks start putting on things on TV to show you, don't you want this? Look at how the rappers are living. Look at their homes. Look how I'm living. Look how I'm riding. You look at the home which white folks build. Right. Look immaculate. And the idiot that's in it looks like a savage. It don't match. But that's done so it will entice the fool.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
You don't need Royall. You don't need no father. You can get this.
That's right.
And I'm listening to a couple of white guys looking at this, talking about it. This wasn't on TV. They were talking about it. You know, they don't know me per se, just ordinary white. They don't know me. They just know whenever I come around, they feel no threat at all. If you're comfortable. So they start saying everything. Start telling me what their wife fed them for breakfast and that. They start telling me everything. Because they don't know who they're talking to. They just know something about me is non-threatening. But it's inviting. We went to a place to recruit some doctors that's doing a natural procedure for the health and well-being of our people. They're doing it on theirs, and we started to employ them to do it on ours. And my wife told them, said, well, look, we would appreciate, since one of the brothers went to them and gave them all of the centipages. These are white folks. He went there and started getting well and carried all of the centipages that were carried from them and start reading. Then when I show up, they look at me like, so after we found out, my wife told us, I said, look, you let the people know. Don't say nothing about that. I'm not asking them to believe nothing. We're here for their service, and that's it. And so when that was made known, the receptionist said, I knew when he stepped through the door, something was mighty about him. I knew it. Don't worry about a thing. We won't tell this to no one, but we're mighty happy to know. And from that time on, they said, well, they want to give us fundraisers. They already planning. They done came and took a tour of what we call heaven. Her husband is a magician, not a musician, but a magician. He came and did a show for us. Charged us nothing, not one penny. He said that is the best audience that he has ever performed in. He's been doing what, for 20 years? 20 years. He is going to do it again as a fundraiser for us. Some chiropractors. White folks. They went and looked. Pleased with what they see and what they saw. And a couple of them said, look, we done read the net. We done read the center pages. We want to know if we can come and sit in the audience and hear you teach. That's what I'm about. That means all in all.
Yes, sir.
Ain't nobody keeping you out. You don't have to ask permission. Come on, chill out. I'm going to be me, whether you're there or not. I'm not a disrespecter of nothing. I'm the holder of the essence of all. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Maybe some of you ought to say, well, this man keep talking about I. What am I supposed to do? I mean, you don't go no further. Somebody says the buck stops here. It starts and stops here.
Right.
So I can't say you because you're not doing it. So I have to say I. I'd much rather say, I say we. However, there are so few of you, it's almost difficult to say we. Because you're still acting crazy. You're still operating under an illusion that the minister is God's man. I cannot stress it enough. I'm not with him. I speak about him and what he's doing, and he speaks nothing about me because it would bring up a question. If he starts speaking about me, somebody's going to have a question. If it's no more than, Brother Minister, why aren't you with him, or why haven't you invited him to the temple? What are you going to say? What are you going to say? Well, I've not invited him because we have ample proof that he is Satan. Well, how do you know that, Brother Minister? I mean, he has everything going for us. It looks good. Why would you say Satan? What are you going to say? Because what he's doing, he's tricking the people. Well, what is what he's doing? A trick. Where's the trick? He don't own no home. That's his. He's renting from a black woman. Because she's black, he's renting from her. I'm renting. And the homes that the members live in, most of them are paid for. We have the deed for the members. The transportation, we have the titles for the vehicles. They have a banking system where the money goes into the bank and the books are always open. There is no money given to Royall, him, as a stipend or anything that he gets on no salary. Where is the trick? So he knows it, so he don't say anything. And just by not saying it, it is like saying, leave him alone. Royall is no good. He's trying to build himself up on what I have already done. So I ask you, what has he done? With millions of dollars, what has he done? How many of you all have been invited to either one of his mansions just for dinner? How many? How many of you all have gone to any of his invitations to hear him speak for free? And if all of the money that was gained and given, where is the evidence that you gave anything? Really? A $5 million restaurant that everybody was jumping up and down, leaping off the moon about. Where is it? Clothes tighter than a drum. If I don't hurry up, it's going to be sold to the enemy. He's going to buy it. Tear it down. Put him up in a housing complex there. Make some money. Do you see where you are, black man? Do you see where you are? And don't make no difference in what you think in your mind because you got the messenger's teeth. You as an individual can do something. You can't do nothing. You can't even stay out of jail. You can't do nothing with that. You've got to have a support. White folks don't pay no attention to one man or one woman because you know the messenger. So what? I know him too. White folks know him better than you do. However, when you're with me, and he come up and he look at his window, you're a different kind of man. Are you with the private guy? No, I'm with Royall, a lying person. Oh, I knew there was a difference. Well, look, son. Look, man, take it easy. If you keep this up, we're going to have to give you a ticket. I'm quite sure Royall is not teaching that. We had a brother. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
We had a brother in Atlanta, Georgia. They started the fish program up again, where the message used to have. We started it up again. And while he was selling the fish, he was into an area where the police were. We didn't have no license to do that. You know, the vending license? We didn't have none. They were doing so great, the brother forgot to even go seek it out. So the police pulled him to the side and said, where's your license? License? You don't have no vending license? No, we don't have no vending license. He said, well, let me see some identification. The brother was in his car, didn't have a registration, didn't have no license, and didn't have no vending license. The police says, who are you with? I'm with the United Nations of Islam. I'm with Solomon, Royall, Allah. He said, you know, I don't know why I'm not locking you up. And he called another woman that was in the storefront. He said, come here a minute. She walked over and said, don't I lock up people? She said, yes, you do. He said, I lock up everybody. He said, but I don't know why I can't lock you up. He said, look, I'll tell you what you do. I'm going to give you a ticket. And you're going to have to appear in court. Now, before you appear, go get your license. Go get the car, because I'm impounding the car. Get the right registration for the car, insurance and everything. And go get the vending license. But I still don't know why I'm not locking you up. The brother went and did all that, went to court last week. The officer didn't show up, they threw it out. being with me, the brother was extremely calm and confident because of what he was doing with our people by delivering the fish, and their attitude towards them was tremendous. They would say, where have you all been? Behind that kind of rival or that kind of spirit booster caused him to be very secure with the police, knowing I'm backing him up. So look what happened. He went and did what he was instructed to do, which was obey the law, and there would be no trouble. And there was no trouble. And he kept on selling while he was waiting for the license. You see? Because he had someone supporting him. Now, if he was by himself, trying to make a living as what you do in this world, he would have been locked up. So since he would be locked up, he couldn't get the registration. He couldn't get his license, nor could he buy the license for the vendor, because he's in jail. So now he has to spend that time in jail and probably a little bit more time with a fine. There was no fine paid and no time spent in jail. However, but I'm everything but the child of God. You see? All right, black man and black woman, I want to see how intelligent you are, because I know you are. So come to the mic and fire on me. Rapidly. Do like the Queen of Sheba. Pose hard questions, because I got some hard answers. Bring it on. Has everyone understood so far what has been shared with you?
Yes, sir.
All right. We got some sisters coming up. We'll let the sister go first, if you will. Yes, ma'am.
I was kind of late. I don't know if maybe you ran by this or not. But I've always been concerned with children being killed like in Iraq at this time, and like the little girl down down. I've always wondered, where is God in a situation like that? If you could foresee this, where is this coming? What should happen? Could not intervene. And
why would I do that?
And throughout the United States, every day there were like 1,000 children that died in children's hospitals. Babies. You know,
if I may, I'll answer. All right. Listen carefully. I am a God that has come to collect those that want to be with me. That want to be with me. We have allowed you to be in the devil's world. And when you live the life of the devil, you shall die his death, although I'm in your presence. So like I said, I've been here, Elijah was here 40 years and suffered this kind of ignorance to make sure what you were expressing didn't happen to our people. They rejected it.
That's what they did.
Now, I'm here. And I'm accepting those who want to be with me. I'm not going to make you be with me just to save you so you can still raise hell in heaven. No. Once you say, Royall, God, Allah, Jehovah, whatever you want to call me, I want to be with you. I submit. And when you do that, it'll be just like the brother's experience. When sickness come upon you, I'll take care of that. When your enemy come against you, I'll take care of that. When death confronts you, I'll chase it away. And remember, I being Allah, and I'm saying it because I am. I don't just wait till a child is born to let them lose their life. I'll take it in the womb. That kind of life means nothing to me unless it means something to you. If the parent of the child cared anything about life, they would have been with the author of it. They would have been with the knowledge of it. They would have accepted the message and came and gave themselves to it. Therefore, then you could say, Allah, where were you? Until then, no. For 6,000 years, we made it known that God would be absent and allow you you, black man, for the 400 years of the last part of the 6,000 for you to go into this kind of atrocity. It was written. So you can't say, God, how can you be God and allow that to go on? Easy. Very easy. Because every one of you all that refuse it and die, that's the lesson I have to kill. Because the fire is coming, because I'm bringing it. I'm not saying it because I'm angry, I'm saying it because of the urgency of the time. This is real. This is real. Death don't mean nothing to me. It don't mean nothing to me. I'm concerned about life. However, you're going to have to want to live. And for your wanting to live in life, it's going to have to be for the right reason. Not to live so you can do devilishment. I've given the time for that, and I've given a messenger. And he suffered 40 years, day by day. So if they die, it's because of their own hand. If they live, if you're with me, none of that has an effect on you. You won't know it because you ain't with me. But I'm telling you because I know it. I protect many, many people. And if you're not with me and I protect you, it's because I know what I have you for and you don't. So because your car turned upside down, caught on fire, burnt all the way up, and they can get you out until the whole thing was burnt to a char because you didn't have a hair person. You say, well, my God saved me. Yes, God did save you. But for what? If there's no need for you, you would have been burnt. Period. So yes, this may be a bitter pill to swallow. However, the reality of it is, if you're not with me, expect death. And in a miserable way. Because that's what your enemy got planned for you. And I'm not changing. Unless you're with me. When you say I'm with you and make the step to be with me, all of that will be obeyed. Are you listening, black man?
Yes, sir, Father.
So the question is asked, where were you, God? Right here looking at it. Matter of fact, I saw it before I came. And inspired certain people to write it. Write this down. Little children will be turning grave at overnight for what they see coming. Mothers will lose their baby from their womb for what they see coming. The earth will be so in trouble that it will reel and rock like a drunk man. Don't say I didn't tell you. It's your ignorant concern about life and death that you are concerned about. I'm God. I do things well in advance. Well in advance. However, only the ones of you that agree from yourself to be with me are the ones I will accept. Those of you that will come because you think you're forced, you won't be with me. You may be in the circle of what I'm doing. However, you'll never be with me. And you can look for death to visit you one day. I just hope that you must die. It will be the death of a Muslim. When you die in your sleep, you have a chance to come back again. If that answers your question.
Somewhat. Still not really clear. If you do things in advance, and there is prophecy, then what is the purpose of free will? And if you created sin.
All right. Hold. Where you going further? I ain't create no sin. You can forget that. I did not create no sin. I permitted it to do its thing. I didn't create it. And that's the purpose of why I am here. Because of this negative force that is always inviting you to sin. Remember now, you're speaking to the Supreme Being whether you know it or not. And you're telling me what white folks have told you. So that you can always see me in a distorted way. I don't create no sin, I didn't create it, nor did I make it. I permitted it. And in the last 400 years, like we told the devil, we're going to let you have 400 years to run rampant over the earth before I come and take you off. You have 1,000 years of being in check. In other words, Islam is going to put Christianity in check for 1,000 years. And after that, for a short while, I'm going to let you loose. and you will be able to run havoc over the earth. And that's what he has done for 400 years. So I told him before we created him or made him or allowed him to be made. It was written. Now, free will, yes. That's why I'm saying if you by your own free will decide to be with me, all that stuff you're talking about won't happen to you. Because you're in accord with my will to be right, to live right, expect right, respect right, be right, be God, be God's it, be the example, be the children of God, be the humble and the meek, inherit the earth. Because that's what you want. Now, if you don't want that, since you got a free will, that's what's happening to you. You're being burnt up, shot, killed, ran over. Death is always at your door. Overdose. So did God know about it? Absolutely knew about it. Told you before it happened. Now it happened. So I kept my word. And I said, at the apex of this, I shall show up. And I'm going to put an end to all of them. And all that wants to be with me won't receive that. All that don't, well, get ready. Am I in my rightful place?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand what's been said?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, I understand it. It just seems that for children who don't have choices, that seems very cruel, very unloving.
Well, let me ask you this.
Children have...
Let me ask you this. What is the duty of the parent that the child got killed? What was the duty of the parent? You talking about these children, the ones that's on the street now, that are no longer children, that's taking dope, that's rapping, pants down by the ankles. Where were their parents? Where was their guidance so that they could be with me so that stuff wouldn't happen to them? What happened? You want to talk about the children as though, well, they shouldn't happen to children. Oh, really? This lets you know nobody knows about God. You think he thinks the way you think. If that was the case, I would not let white folk or the devil do nothing to you. Because I know what would happen. So I would stop it. So before this takes place, I said, we're going to let this man rule for 6 days. This is your church and your preachers about it. Satan, you can have 6 days to rule. And on the 7th day, I will come. And I'm going to put you to rest. Now, during that 6,000 years, the baby's going to die. The mother's going to die. The brothers, uncles, cousins, fathers, mothers, everybody's going to die. Now, how they died depends upon them. Now, before Elijah was raised up, you had slavery. You was under the complete mercy of the white man, which had no mercy. So why don't you ask God where were you then? When white folks were slamming women up against the tree, busting their baby out of them, then they could back upon a plow 6 hours after. Where was God then? He killed the baby by busting her upside the tree before the baby was born. But you ain't saying nothing to him.
Well, that's all involved with my Christian.
Well,
and now people being killed in Iraq, they're considered collateral damage.
by who?
By the evildoers.
Who is the evildoer?
The people who are dropping the bomb.
Who are they?
The system.
What system? Who is the author of the system? You so scared of white folks, you scared to say it, right?
I'm not scared of white folks.
Well, who is
That's what I'm talking about.
Who is this? I asked you who. I didn't ask you what. If I say what, you can say the system.
To answer.
No,
George Bush, Lexley, namely George Bush.
Well, he's the one, yes, by name. But he's only one man. He's just a window. He's the window. I'm telling you, sister, so you have an understanding. You want to know your question was really legit. Don't try to avoid the answer. And say, well, I don't understand it. If you keep doing this and the little babies in Iraq were not like God don't know, the white man is over there doing that. Not you and I. And it said in the last days that I would come to this land where you were afflicted. You still afflicted. I come to take you out with great substance and judge the man that put this on you. So that's exactly what I'm doing, taking you out first. I'm not talking about white folks like Louis do all the time, want to blame everything on white folks and then get up and talk about what you said about the babies being killed in Iraq. Iraq has had the Quran 1,400 years. If they did what was in the Quran, what we gave them, that would never happen. But since none of them did it, I can't protect them either. And as soon as they do what they're supposed to do according to what I decreed for them to do, instantly, I come in and take over. Instantly. But they have a choice also. They have a choice. They did nothing for us. They know we've been here 400 years under the slavery. They ain't come to help us do a damn thing. Nothing. They get together and raise the price on the oil and make sure you pay more money out of your pocket that you don't have.
Right.
You got to wake up, sister. You got to wake up. God is here. We raised up Elijah. Elijah came and said, I got a message to the black man. He said a damn thing about the woman. Because he know you ain't God. You got all these motherly concerns. What about God? Yes, I'm the one that's making the nest for you. I'm the one that's making the home for you. I'm the one that's making heaven for you. This man that you notice your opposite color has made hell and he maintains it and you help it. This is, like I said, this is another beginning. I'm not angry with you. I'm speaking to the urgency of what you asked me because that question many people had. Like one time I was here before, a brother got him and said, well, if you God, you like a God, like a log, or a bump sitting on a log, you ain't doing nothing. Like he was. You see?
Well,
So,
if God is the ultimate power in all of omnipotence, then you can see where the man is coming from. If he put it to you that way, it's because.
well, this is why I'm here now. This is why I'm here now. Hold on. This is why I'm here now and been here for some time. To explain to you all so you can see the road to salvation. I'm not here begging you to do nothing. I'm here making an opportunity for you to be with me. You want to be with me, to hell with you. Because that's where you are. I'm not taking you from it. You have to be willing to leave it. I'm not coming here to take you from hell. I'm coming here to open up the door to heaven. If you want to walk in, come on. If you're going to stand outside and stand in hell and throw rocks at heaven, you're going to have another thing coming. But my rock is always bigger. And it always comes when you can't see it. So what you're saying, I understand. Because you're speaking from the mind of the slave master, not from a godly person. You're speaking the concerns as though if God was so and so and so and so. And let's look at it. If all this is happening, where the hell is God? Since he shouldn't be doing this, how come it's being done then? Where is it? Won't you get on your knees that you pray for every night and talk to God? Won't you ask God, where the hell are you? Don't you see what's going on? Like, no. Well, God, didn't you see what's happening now? He said, yes, I seen what was happening by reason of their taskmaster. He didn't say, well, no, I had no knowledge of that. He said, yes, I know. I know y'all catching hell. I know Pharaoh was killing you. I seen your affliction by reason of your taskmaster. He didn't say, well, I come down, I wasn't going to, if I knew that, I wouldn't allow it. I would have jumped down and did something about that. No, he kept his promise. I kept my promise. Do what you will. Do what you will, Satan, until I come. And when I come, I'm doing my will. And all that wants to be with me in my will rebuke you, and ain't a damn thing you can do to them, for them, or against them. Nothing. And I'm telling you to your face. So that kind of thinking is what will keep you out of heaven. That will keep you away from mathematical thinking in a mathematical way. Now, because you have the opportunity to actually see God and actually touch me, actually talk to me, actually walk with me, actually eat with me, actually reason with me, I can't be God. Now you want to say, well, if you God, don't you see all that killing? How come you ain't stopped? Because I'm keeping my word. That's why. Because I'm keeping my word. Just like we said, it was only 144,000 seen going to heaven with their Lord. 144,000. That's not even a quarter of the 1 million. When there's 40 million here, if not more. So, you ask God that, but you ain't thinking. You don't got the answer? We can go to the next question. Got another?
Well, it's kind of redundant.
Well, I would suggest that you get the tape or talk. If you come with somebody, talk with them that you came with, so that you all can hash it over and see the reason yet. In other words, it's not that I'm heartless. I'm just not alive. If you're going to go live, it's like the saying say, if you're going to live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. If you're going to live where white folks say you're supposed to live, you're going to die their death. And Elijah was here for 40 years, and the whole book calls him a daily sacrifice. He was sacrificing to make sure that you didn't have to go through that. But you didn't listen. And so now, God is coming, like you said, after me comes God, God comes. Now you ask me, where were you at, God? Don't you see all this happening? Of course I seen it. I seen it before you were born. I had it written. I had to put it in the book to make sure you couldn't forget it. So you can always go back and read it over and over and over. And as time passes and develops, you can see the reality in what was written. You can see it. So yes, I know, I knew, and I still know. Now, what it's about, there is no people, are you listening? There is no people on the planet that is in worse shape than you, black man. So why should my concerns be over with somebody that had to do for 1,400 years and you only had it for 40?
Right.
I come from my people, like the book reads. My people lose their life for the lack of knowledge. My people. Now, if I was for all the people, I would say the people lose their life. My people. So I let you know it's a certain people. Now, they lose their life for the lack of knowledge after it was sent to them and they rejected it. So, see, the preacher is telling you what he should be telling you. I think you had enough on that particular thing, on that kind of question. You got another one that's not that kind of question. Ask it. Other than that, talk with somebody that can so you get a better understanding.
The people that in African diaspora are not included in that place of the hey, but you take for your people.
Yes, ma'am.
Just the people, black people in the United States.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm from the Caribbean.
Yes, ma'am. Well,
I have
let me say this because I understand you want to say all that. I ain't going through all that. I'm going to say this. I came from my people here in North America. The ones that's in North America here are the people that is the new people. There is no other people that's gone under what we went under. The pressure, when you make a diamond, you got to go through that stone or that piece of wood, got to go through a tremendous amount of pressure before it turns to be that diamond. Tremendous. They may have stones all around it, but it didn't turn to be a diamond. That did. So the ones that is to be the new people, like it reads in Revelation, I make all things new. And the first thing I make new is you. And how I did it, I allowed you to be under this pressure for over the 400 years. Under tremendous pressure. Now, you're just right for the new. You understand what's being said?
Yes, sir.
I hope you're not leaving because if you are, you really didn't want the answer to your question. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
that's why it's to the black man instead of the black woman. Lead you to slaughter every time.
That's right.
Come and ask that and then you pretend you don't understand. That's an insult.
Yes, sir.
I don't give a damn whether you believe I'm God or not. I don't care. Because I'm being God. The best you can do, since you don't know Him, is to see how I'm that. Instead of coming up with your already made up in your mind what it is. If I don't conform to what you say it is, you get up and lose. Boy. I'm not insulted. I just want you to see yourself in the mirror. Yes, ma'am. If y'all want to sit down, there's a seat. There's empty.
It is an honor to be in the presence once more. The first question is, what tribe am I from?
What tribe are you from?
Yes.
Were you here once before asking the same thing?
Pardon me?
Were you here once before asking the same thing?
The last time I asked the meaning of my name.
And what was your name? What is it?
Roshanda.
What did I say again?
one who is always rejected.
If I don't answer you, that's another rejection. I don't know, from what I can see from here, you have the appearance of being from the 12th tribe, the ruling tribe,
Yes, sir.
the Leo tribe, the tribe that God gives many things to be issued out to the other members of the tribe. I don't know what it means to you.
It means a lot. It means a lot.
Yes.
Okay, the second question, what is the best method for dealing with folks who have hate in their hearts?
Just be truthful. That's their heart, they got to cleanse it, not you. If they got hate in their heart, well then they're either being spawned or taught by Satan and they love it. So if they have hate in their heart, forget them. You go about being what you're supposed to be, and if you're with me, they'll have hate, you will have love. And they can't do nothing to you. You understand?
Yes, sir. My daughter would like to know how did profanity words come about?
Well, that came from Satan. The expression of the hate that Satan has for Allah, myself, he has taken the language and twisted some of it to make sure that it is a different meaning that shows frustration, anger, jealousy, hate, envy, all of those things about God, because he's not God. He has the same long life or longevity as God has. However, he has no authority. He always has to ask for what he wants. And he's mad as hell because he always has to ask. Well, I'm here to put it in me, I ask nothing. Ain't gonna be no more simple.
Yes, sir.
If that answers your question.
Yes, sir. One more question. Pertaining to the movie Crazy as Hell, what inspired you to want us to view that movie?
Well, because it gives a clear indication as to how Satan operates when you don't think it's Satan. The man came in, things were so simple, he never thought it was Satan. And then, what will cause you to be stubborn or in a situation where you can't see it is because of the man's own stubbornness or his own will to be hard-headed. Like the sister just left. Got up and asked the question, and because she didn't like the answer, not that she didn't understand it, because she didn't like the answer, she got up and left. So, hey, so that's another person that's expressing Satan to God. When you get up and turn your back on God, and so just like it did in the crazy hell, when the hard-headed man got up and turned his back to Satan, you see what Satan did to him?
Yes, sir.
Made him come back. But you notice, he never challenged Satan when he told him, I will put my foot, I will stop his heart. For y'all saw it?
Yes, sir.
Remember when he did that?
Yes, sir.
He never challenged Satan. He didn't say, well, all right, go ahead, let me see you do it. He didn't do that. You know why? Because he wanted to remain hard-headed. He didn't want no evidence to show that he was hard-headed. That he couldn't stand to be a loser. He didn't want no evidence. So I recommend it for you all to see that so you will see what you're up against. Certain things that are very simplistic, but very satanic. And as long as you don't submit, you're going to get caught. Every time you're going to get caught. That's why. So maybe you should look at it again.
Also, too, I would like to share this with you. In the movie Crazy as Hell, the man that actually played Satan, I worked with him on Bible Boys, and I thought about that because for you to suggest for us to see that movie, I had actually been around them, and it didn't seem mathematical. I knew it was time for me to see that movie because certain things I have been seeing, out in the world, a lot of crazy things have been happening pertaining to sisters, which is my main concern. One sister, I saw her pulling her pants down in the streets. I saw another sister walking with her bras up, no bra on. Another sister just tearing up paper. I have been seeing a lot of insanity, and I was trying to figure out what is going on. And when I watched the movie Crazy as Hell, it just showed me what's really going on. It's not closed, it's out in the open. Insanity. So thank you for recommending for us to do that movie.
Yes, ma'am. Now look, this may get a little lengthy. What the secretary is going to do is going to ask you for some money to pay for this building. I think they have to pay a little money so we can use it. So don't get up and just leave. You know, you got a time thing it's almost ready, so you up and gone. So the secretary says, well, we need to pass the plate for some charity. You ain't here. Like a lot of y'all do, you be gone. Stop trying to steal knowledge from me. I'm in number 10 now. I'm not going to let you do that. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Well,
the question that I have is in regards to prayer. You know, as Muslims were taught that prayer is better than sleep, and work is better than prayer. And I was watching the right to the point, and the brother mentioned that it's not necessary to pray. And so can you expand on that?
Yes, ma'am. Prayer is only valid in the absence of God. When the solution is absent, then prayer is expected. When the answer is there, then there's no need to pray. You know, it's like, well, I'd like to know how much money I'm going to make if I work for you during the course of a week. Then the man says, well, I will pay you $27.50 an hour. And you say, oh, well, that's very good. And then you come to work. And you find out you only work an hour a day. You didn't finish asking your question. $27 and so many cents an hour. Well, how many hours a day am I going to work? How many hours a week do I work? If you did that, you would have no question because the answer would be there. That's the same thing with prayer. Anything that we are wrapped up in, that you don't have an answer to, that you know should be divine, that you know by nature you're supposed to have it, so you're going to have to go to God and ask Him, how come I don't have this? What should I be doing? And because I did get this little bit, thank you for sending that. You know, it also reads in the Quran, mere remembrance is better of Allah, is better than prayer. Just to remember. And with me, if you're with me, I don't encourage prayer, because by doing that, you're like putting another God before me. You're putting a spooky God in your mind before me. When I'm right here in the flesh, I have decided to come in my fullness in the sense of the spiritual, physical, mental, and physical. I'm here physically. So for you to go do any other thing, you're ignoring one part. And that's the part that's going to get you killed. So that's why, as long as you don't know me, don't have any idea as to what I'm doing or that I am God, whatnot, well, pray. Go ahead and do that. If you're from the East and your nature is not original, then do as you instructed. Pray it 5 times, a little bit more. Because it keeps you remembering me. But you, black man, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
I don't want to know prayers from you. I want to practice. I want you to start being yourself. Start learning. Come to the classes and learn how to be yourself. A lot of brothers and sisters that was here in Los Angeles, that was with us, God, give us our daily bread. They did it every day. So don't ask for it. It automatically comes. Forgive us for our sins. We forgive you because now we taught you being taught how not to do it again. So you don't need to pray. If that answers the question on the prayer. If you're not with me, well, yes, pray. Yes, ma'am.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
As an original person of this earth, how are we going to experience heaven? We are in the same position black people in.
Well, this is the wonderful thing about the black man. He's a man of mercy. If you are doing what you know is right, then we can't do you wrong. We can't do you wrong. Your place will be with us. You know, in the story of Solomon, when the Queen of Sheba came to check to see if what she had been told was right or was true, she saw the servants, not Solomon's family, so when she saw them also. And she saw the ones that's with Solomon. However, she made the comment about the servants of Solomon. They was always standing around, waiting to do something with this joyous smile, this array of peacefulness on them. And well, why are they like that? Because they love being in his service. Because they're treated so admirably. It's hard to tell the master from the servant. So if you are not original, even if you're Caucasian, and you want to do right, we don't stop that. We encourage it. I got a whole city for white folks. Whole city. The city of lost, what do you call it? Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta. I got a whole city for them. Because it's going to be only 144,000 going to heaven and 3 million white folks going to the city. That don't seem like it. If you go by numbers, they don't seem right. Only 144,000 going to heaven and 3 million going to the city. What's wrong about that, is it? Not really. That 3 million won't be no more. They will dwindle off to none. The 144,000 will repopulate the earth from those that will submit, because they submit. When you put submission, you can only get perfect submission. Right? So if you with this, you don't have to worry about nothing. I mean, you don't have to worry about nothing. Of course, Satan will try to make you worry about it. If you don't listen to him, you don't have to worry about it. Got another question?
My second question is, when I came in, I noticed, why does the star under the crescent of saints?
Well, right now, each point represents the amount of justice that's issued out from the one that's the author of it. And to issue out justice, you can only do that from knowledge. That's why the state of Illinois had to let so many of their prisoners on death row go. Because they found out their justice was flawed. And they only have a 5-point star. Because they had wrongly accused the ones on death row. They had to let them go. However, since this is being represented by me, then I have the power, the authority, the knowledge, and the wisdom to know how to judge accurately at that level. So it only represents the knowledge that's coming to you. The one that's coming to you is the knowledge. That's how you equate that. White folks in general use the 5 points. The Jews that think that they're better, they go under the Star of David, 6 points. I that know I'm the best starts off with 7 points. Starts off. That's what it's there for. Fine. Brother B, I've been waiting years. Okay, I'm ready.
Assalamu alaikum, dear Savior and Deliverer. Welcome to Los Angeles. I'm going to be brief and expedient. I have a grandson that loves sport and play, and the way I explain it to him, I would like for you to go into it, because you shared in your interview with Master Wali Farad that we were allowed to play games. However, I teach him that sports and play creates indecency, and went into the Quran with the boy. However, the other questions I need some clarity on is what happened to the 400 million on the population of the original nation in the wilderness of North America and all over the planet Earth, which is 4,400,000,000, as I quoted when I recited my Stephen wrote. Are those the 400 million you're going to destroy, or I'll allow you to go into that? And the other question is with the Orthodox persuasion, you being the Mahdi, a lying person, Prophet Muhammad shared that you would be the sole judge and arbitrator and destroy Christianity and Islam with the cross. So I would like you to go into, since you does things right the first time, and they got over in some Islamic countries, you know, female circumcision, which is totally barbaric, and I would love for you to go into that for their mindset. And also, I would like some clarity on...
Oh, let's go get all the apologies. You don't have to apologize. I know you're trying to... You know, we ain't seen each other in a long time, so you're getting all of it in one shot. I understand. Well, let me answer a couple of those before I forget. As far as sport and play, someone that loves it, they're young, they do that because we don't have no other activity for them to do. It's for energy. So in order to go out and do something crazy, they play. No, and I don't have no games. I don't have no games. I permit games to be played, certain kinds of games. Mind games that develop the mind in mathematical thinking, not in beverages. So that's the reason why most children that are young like games. They got all this in it. They got to run and play, you know, just run and jump after a while and jumping and play. They ain't accomplished nothing. So if I jump, you got to put the ball in the hoop. They got a challenge. So that's why you do that. And as far as anything happening over, yes, I am the all in all. And the things that happen over in the East, what they do, we gave them a book. And we told them, since that you are not of me and I'm not of you, the best that we will do, we'll write something down for you and give it to you, and we'll allow you to use what we've created ourselves with as a religion. It's not. As a religion. You can have this as a religion. Go by this book. You've never seen my face. You won't see it until the end of time. However, it's not needed. Go by this book. And at the end of time, I shall come to my people. And when I come, I'm bringing something new. As a matter of fact, because you're so damn hard-headed and whatnot, I'm going to have to prepare a warner for you. Because you think you got it all. When the book ain't even started on nothing yet. So that's where it is beginning. All the other things you ask me and whatnot, these are things that they do because of the lack of knowledge of me. Don't be so wired up as to what other people are doing. You know, if the women are circumcising themselves, that's what they do. Make sure, what is the black man here in North America doing? Don't be concerned about nobody else. I've got that covered. None of them have an excuse. That's why we put it in the book. We have sent a warner to all of you all. The only one that never had a warner is the black man here in North America. He never had a warner until I sent you him, or raised up from one from amongst their own, by the name of Elijah, which I said in the last book, in the Old Testament, in the Bible. Behold, just before that great and dreadful day of the Lord, I shall send to you Elijah. Well, we actually raised Elijah up. And everything that I'm doing is for you, black man here in North America. And you will take care of the rest of the work. So forget the rest of the earth until you get yourself together. Because they are waiting on you. Don't be concerned about how many babies is dying over there. If all of them die, so what? You the man to sell all his sperm. What can I say? We brought him back in the first place. If we want to do it again, we'll do it. But we ain't doing that. We ain't brought about something that's so much greater than us. So don't be concerned about that. Make sure that the black man here sees an example in you that will attract him like a magnet to do right, because he sees the benefit of it. And that is calmness, because of your mastery of truth. Not showing excitement, anxiousness, unsurety. Then you'll constantly looking but never come into accept. Because you think what you got don't have enough power to give you peace. Got it?
Yes, sir, Father. I have one more question. I was dealing in that because I was teaching the teaching just, and I was in prison. I already understand. The other one is, I'm not clear as to Prophet Muhammad's cousin, his uncle's son, Ali, before the Caliph of Islam. What significance is that in marrying his own cousin and Prophet Muhammad being his father-in-law.
Again, brother Young, that is their duty. That is a clear example of how they have or have not followed the instructions. So what is happening to them now, you can't be all broke up about it because they deserve it. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So forget that Quran is not for us. It ain't for us. So forget that. And what's happening to them and mind their cousins so well. You know what cousin means? You want to know what cousin means?
Yes, sir.
Listen to this. You have, from a baby, this is how you say it. You say mother, father, brother, sister. I say father, mother, sister, brother, uncle, aunt. And because you are after that, now you are a cousin. Because, instead of saying putting a B there, you just got cousin. Because you are after all this, and you're still in the family. So we say first and second cousin. It's really you're saying because you're not an aunt, you're not a nephew, you're not a niece, you're none of them. You're not that close. You're just beyond that. And because you're that close to being on that, you're just a cause. Because. So that's what that is about the cousin. So most times they say it's substantially the third cousin you can marry. That's what they say. Got it?
I got it, Father.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I'm going to try to answer these real quick because I don't want y'all to be restless, anxious to get home. Yes, sir.
I shall thank Father. Once again, it's a privilege, honor, divine privilege to be in your presence. And I hope you're enjoying the city, Atlanta, big city. We have something like 9 million in the county. Basically, and it's also a privilege, like you said, this is the first time we've seen God in 76 years. That's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. I was in his presence, I can bear witness. He said God has been in my presence in 76 years. And also that I can God is promised. You know, and I want to say thank you for many of your blessings on me because in the last year, I've really been working hard. My question pertains to the Middle East, the gospel, the war that's going on, because it is prophecy. And even the messenger said that it would heat up. But how are we supposed to preserve ourselves? We was talking about saving food, saving food. What are some of the food that you would recommend? Type of,
Well, this is what you do. If you want to do it preserving, just get the small navy bean. You don't have to get anything else. Just some water and a small navy bean. Even if you can't cook it, if you soak it long enough and eat just a few whipping beans a day, it won't give you enough gas to hurt you, and you will still digest it. If you can cook it, go ahead and cook it. And can. So when it gets to a point you need something to eat, open the can or the jar and eat. However, if you with me, you go eat. If you're not with me, and I don't mean that I'm with you, Father, I'm here in L.A. and I listen to your tape and I agree with what you say because I know it's true. So I'm with you. No, you're not with me. You're still looking at me, but you're not with me. To be with me, you have to be where I'm at, where I have set up the perimeter, where I have the self-controlled environment. That's with me. So you don't have to can nothing. If I eat, you're going to eat. If I don't eat, well, we all starve. But that's not in the plan. So, other than that, I don't know what to tell you. And as far as the the war is, this is really the changing of the God. You can't make God out of a life. Say after the 6th day, in the morning of the 7th hour, come and put you to rest. You can't make that alive. So God is God, and then here comes the real God showing up. You're going to have a rip. It's going to be a mighty, mighty rip. The changing of God. So that's what is happening. This God is not laying down and say, well, it's time for me to, stop ruling, so I just lay down and play rover. Let the other guy take over. Oh, no. He said, if I'm going out, I'm going to take as many of you I can with me. I'm not going to just lay down. You can forget that. I've been practicing all this time. I've been studying. I've been trying to find out how much I can make this bomb, how big I can make it, how effective I can make it. So I can't wait to use it. This is the time. So that's what's happening. But if you with me, whatever bomb they got, we got one big. Whatever gas they got, we got a neutralizer. Whatever plane they got, we got one faster. Whatever rocket ship they got, we got one better. So they're always playing catch up when it comes to the real God. It's just that you, black man, don't know it because you don't know what they know. Don't you know white folks know me? I mean, they know me like it is God. They know. They don't come up and say, look, Royall, now, I don't like what you're teaching. We're going to have to lock you up until the war is over. Because I ain't teaching against them. I'm teaching you. I know what they're going to do. We've got to be prepared for them for some time. Just like the message said, we're waiting for them.
Also, the Bible also says to whom obey it. Jesus said, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. My Father will come and suffer. If he said, Lord, I stand at the door and knock. If any man open up the door, I will come in, and my Father will suffer with any man. So that's saying that if you're right, then
or if you want to be right, even if you want to be right.
And lastly, what was Daryl?
Daryl?
Yeah.
Daryl. What does Daryl mean? I wonder if you really want to know the answer to this. You really want to know? Well, I don't know which Daryl you're asking about, but just the Daryl by itself, so I'm going to give the spiritual meaning for it. It means an active, devilish person. Active. Well, just because you have the name, it don't mean that that is what you are. Most of us don't have the right name. However, if your behavior fits it, the shoe fits, well. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, Allah. I know some brothers back here want to get to the mic, but the question that you had just answered, this brother right here about being with you, first I'd like to say I come to you in humility, my mind and my entity in humility, extreme humility. I wish I could find ways to be more humility as I grow. You said being with you. Me, I feel like I am with you mentally in my entity-wise. I mean, physically I'm not in Kansas and whatnot, but as far as my everyday living and my everyday thinking, I feel that I'm with you. What I'm asking, I guess, if I'm not there in Kansas, is what I'm saying, I'm steady living righteously every day. I feel being an example to those that I am around of you, manifesting you in the actions that I do. I mean, the scientists in the universe and whatnot, they know my thoughts, and so they will write down. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But this is what takes place. You don't have to be in Kansas to be with me. However, you will have to be in some order of what I am in charge of or what I am developing, such as with the brothers. To be with me in your mind and your thinking and your heart is one way. However, you have to be taught how to be with me. You know, this is like a father having a son. He may take his son with him in the car. He goes some places, jump up and down, he take it. And, you know, maybe he can only walk there. He's carrying around, talking to him. He gets to walking, he's still carrying with him and whatnot. He's with his father. But he can't really be with his father because his father is still teaching him how to be in harmony with how he does things. And when he learns that, then he can say he's really with him. As far as him being with him in his mind, in his heart, in his spirit, and the language which you're using, you know, the scientists or the rulers of the planet know that you are with me, whatnot. They know that. But then they also want you to know how to be with me. Because that's what's on. You know, you don't have to be in heaven. The brother captain is standing right beside you. You know, he's with me. You know, he's the captain. His father came under the message. He thinks that I'm a quack. His father thinks I'm crazy. I'm not protecting his father, but I'm protecting his son. So he don't have to come to Kansas. But as long as he's with me and doing what he's doing here, he's protected. The only time anything can happen to him if he's just blatantly go do something crazy. And it still ain't gonna hurt him that bad. It'll hurt him just enough to let him know, man, what you doing? What?
Thank you, boss. One more, as I wanted to expound to you to give me some clarification on like a quick dream that I had. Actually, it was two. I go real quick with it. One, it was, I guess I was lying down, and it was some people surrounding me. And I can't say really it was a person. I can say, even though my face, I was turned this way, and the person, I guess I always say person, was behind me. It was just like a black, something black, you know, which had its shape. And it pulled me up, like sucked me to it, but it just like pulled my back to it. And it put its lips, you know, they had to be lips right back here. And they weren't moving, but they were speaking, of course not like I'm speaking, but like you said in the tape, if you were trying to explain something, it would be like whatever, you know, and it did that. And as it did that, my eyes opened. And the other one was, there was an arrow in space, and it was a little black tiny ball right next to it, real black. And it said, that the voice said, I didn't catch everything, but the voice said something about if I put an A into this, I guess it was the arrowhead of the arrow, I make that an angel. And the next morning, I was earning my clothes and whatnot, just going to the bathroom when I had the urn in my hand, and, you know, mistakenly touched it or whatnot. And later on that day, it was like the pyramid, the shape of the pyramid on my left arm. And I was trying to figure out, well, maybe that had some kind of...
You touched the iron?
It was, no, I didn't mean to touch it, but it kind of like...
That's what I mean, it did touch the left. Yes,
sir, of the head of the arrow.
Yes, sir. Well, from what you were telling me, the best that I can ascertain from that is that you were doing nothing, and you were called to stand. And to let you know that you were supported by what was calling you, it had the power to stand you up. And an arrow is something that is appointed that shows the direction. So, you know, if it's a little black ball beside it or whatnot, that's you. And now you have been given aim and purpose. And that's why you can stand and say the universe knows what you think. So you and I can be friends if you want to.
Thank you, Allah. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Y'all tired?
No, sir.
You not?
No, sir.
All right, I'm going to see you get up and leave. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Well, it's Islam.
Yes, sir, brother. I would like to know what tribe I am.
10 tribes. You can start all over again.
Is there any meaning, like, to my name? Like, I got my X under Minister Farrakhan. It's 5X, James 5X.
James 5X?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you mean you got your X in the nation?
Right.
But you didn't get your name James, did you?
No, not my mind.
Oh, okay. So you want to know what that means, James 5X?
Yes, sir.
Usually the number X indicates how many James is in that temple before you. You know, so it must have been 4 other Jameses there on the book. They might not have been there when you got there, but they came through, and they got the egg. 4 James. When you come through, you're the 5th one, so you're James 5 eggs. That's what that means.
And the 10th tribe, what is that's the Leo tribe?
Oh, no, sir. The Leo tribe is the 12th tribe. The 10th, well, I only gave that because of, what Leo does. I didn't put a sign to the other tribes. However, the 10th tribe is the tribe that is somewhat independent, based on what already exists. In other words, the number 1 tribe, or the 13th tribe, is really independent of all the rest, because they give instruction, purpose, and aim, and everything to the other 12 tribes. So they're like independent in that sense. However, when you get to number 10, it's like starting over again. However, you got all of the basics from 1 to 10. So you're independent, but you're not independent. If you understand what I'm saying.
Okay, so I have one more question. When I was in the nation, I learned that Master Muhammad said that grace would not exceed 70 years. So I was taught that the count, is it true that it's from 1934, because a messenger was raised in 1931 and he completed the mission, so 1934 plus 70 will bring us to 2004. And right now we're in 2003. So since 2 and 3 is like justice because it equals 5, is this the year that all this is going to be brought to a knot, because 2004, 2 and 4 is 6, meaning it's like, the devil's number of incompletion. Are we at the doorstep of the final right now, and what should we be doing?
Well, you should be with me. When you're with me, you don't have to be concerned about what the world is doing and what the world is going through, because we are too busy curing up our own existence. And I'm back. And like the brother said, the angels in heaven and whatnot, they with me. And they will make sure that everything is all right. As far as 1934, no, that's not when the time started. The time don't start when the messenger finished the teaching. The time started when I showed up in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad July 4th, 1930. 30, completion. So, year 2000, the 25 years or the 70 years is up. Then, after the 7 years up, then yes, the grace was cut off and things went into motion to make sure it brings it to this final conclusion. And no, it will not be over with in 2004. It will be, I won't say we, they're going to be heavy into it. Heavy into it. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Yes, brother, I have 4 questions. However, prior to my asking the questions, I would like to question the 2 previous brothers that came before you and asked 2 questions. One of the questions, or rather it was a statement, I think the brother, I can't remember his name, but I've been knowing him for many years, Brother Charles. He made a statement concerning that we have been absent of the presence, of the knowledge of Allah for the last 76 trillion years, which the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches that Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. That statement and the question that he asked is mathematically incorrect. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the knowledge of Allah has been kept a secret for the last 66 trillion years, meaning or speaking as it relates to the rotation of the moon. But you did not correct the error in the miscalculation. He stated, the messenger stated that 76 trillion years is when the first atom made its motion. And it took 2 trillion years, which 78 trillion years for the atom to build itself up. But there was no correction in the mathematical miscalculation. And previous to that, there was a brother that asked a series of 4 questions, and you used the expression or the phraseology that you needed for him to hope before you forget. Does that suggest a defect of some sort? Because this guy that we've been taught of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he states that there was none like him, that he is all knowing. Okay. Next question.
May I answer those two first?
Beg your pardon?
May I answer those two first?
Okay.
First thing, since you wanted to know why I didn't correct you, brother, it wasn't necessary at the time. It wasn't that we wanted to be right and exact and precise, just to get the general idea. He's not in class. That's why I didn't correct you. However, since you would like me to do that, I'll correct you. It has not been, it wasn't no 66 trillion years that the knowledge has been kept after from that time up before. It started in 72 trillion years. That's when God took himself away. Not 76, not 78, 72. And from the 72 until it showed that he is actually away from everybody and was not ruling as the way he wanted to rule, then it started to be gods. Not the God. Gods. From 72 trillion years up to 66. And the last God that we know of that wanted to exercise such godly power, he's the one that departed the moon from the earth. He showed that kind of power, that kind of dissatisfaction existed. So that's correcting you since you want me to correct you. The general idea is what you need to know. You're not grown enough to know the specifics. So you want to go into specifics, come to the class. You have people here that haven't seen me before and never heard. They're not necessarily coming here to get no detailed synopsis of what took place. They want the general knowledge of what's taking place and what can help them today. Since you have been, it looks like maybe you have studied the message teaching and whatnot, and you might say in your mind, well, you God, why you say it look like it? Because I don't care to know what you know, because you don't know nothing. You know, and what you know is not attractive. So the brother got 3 or 4 questions, and I said, well, what was your other question? Because what he's asking to me is so elementary, it's not worthy of me remembering. It's worthy to him. So if I ask him, he know what it is, tell me again. Now, if he was really interested in me, I remember every question. Point, word for word, and every syllable he used. But it ain't interesting to me. I'm only interested because he's interested, and I will answer his question. If he got 3 or 4 before I'm finished answering the one, I'll ask him, now, what you said the other one was? Because I don't have to remember, because he's there, he remembers. So that's the way God is, and that's the way you will be when you get to be God. You will find many things that you knew. It's no longer needed for you to know it. So it's like it don't exist no more. It's not relevant anymore. So if I ask you many questions for you to answer, and then like I'm gonna still stand there, I'll go sit down. Then if you forget one, if you ask me, well, what was the other question? That's being God. I should remember it. So the question is still going to be answered because you're going to ask it again. So I don't have to say, well, I'm God, so whatever you say, I'll remember it to the letter. Yes, if I was actually really interested. What I'm interested in is for you to come and participate in what I'm doing. Right. And when you do that, then we can be magnified. We're not worried about no war in no place. Because I'm the warrior. And I haven't been beat yet. Matter of fact, mathematically, I can't be beat.
That's right.
Period.
That's right.
I can't even beat myself. I'm telling you what I know. So if you're with me, the thing that you're asking is important to you. It ain't important to me. What a question that would really be important to me is if you ask me, Father, I really see that you are a man of your word, or I can see that how you can be alive. What is it I must do right now to make sure I'm in your grace and your favor? And what can I do to magnify what you're in? That question, that's important to me. But for you to ask me, well, when did the moon, and why did the moon, and so forth and whatnot, I might answer the question, but what you going to do with it? That ain't doing nothing with me. You ain't coming to help to clothe not one bean. But I know you're going to want to eat one. You see? So I'm not scolding you. I'm giving you the answer to the question that you asked. You all understand that? Yes. All right. So this is why. These little things that hang you up, hang people up, thinking, well, if he was God, he was this, he was that. How you going to judge if I'm absolutely new? How you going to judge it? How can you possibly? The best you can do is say, Father, would you give me an understanding why you didn't remember me, brother's question? That's important. But since I know that you're still a baby, I have to eat the insult and answer the real question. Got it? Okay, you got it?
I've understood your position. I'm not in agreement in totality in all that was just stated a moment ago. But that neither one of them were that wasn't my question. That question came to mind as I was standing in line. But I was misquoted a moment ago. I didn't say 72 trillion. I said, if you got a message to the black man, I'll lay my life on the line now. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad stated in the message of the black man that the reality of Allah was kept a secret for the last 66 trillion. I didn't say 72 nor 76. I said that according to the message to the black man, or our Savior has arrived. Let me be more specific, because his rhyme is mathematics. According to our Savior has arrived, and I can quote the page. He states that 76 trillion years ago was when the first atom made its motion. And he says, however, 2 trillion years, from 78 trillion years, the atom was building itself up. But neither one of those was my question. I just was misquoted. Message to the black man, I can quote the page, he states 66 trillion. And the brother states 76 trillion, and he was not correct. But I can understand what you're saying is that you chose not to correct that which was mathematically incorrect. You have that option. I'm not continuing on that. Okay. Now I would like to ask the question that I originally had to ask in and of myself. According to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he speaks of God. He speaks of the Supreme Being. And he speaks of Allah, the Creator. And I understand the chronology of all three. My question, according to what I've learned as a student of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he says this God that I'm speaking of, the Allah, the Creator, he says that he is independent of food, air, and water. My question to you, as you are obeying the law right now of a God called gravity, this God set this planet in motion, and we all are obeying the law of gravity, including oneself. So my question is, are you independent of air, water, and food?
Yes. That's the answer.
Okay. My second question is...
Now, hold it before you go to the second question.
Yes, sir.
Do you believe the first? Do you believe what I just said? Do you believe what I just said?
No, sir.
So why you got another question?
Well, I said I had 4 questions, and I want to stay in...
No, I'm asking you a question. You asked me a question. I gave you the right and exact answer. And the answer is yes, I'm independent of that. So you ask the question, yes. And if I say no, this is what you call one of these trick questions. If I say no, then you say I'm telling the truth, but then that automatically nullifies me as being a law as what the message says. Instead of asking me, what is the meaning of what the messenger said? They don't ask that. And I said that while ago, did I not? Now I ask the question. But this brother comes up, he's trying to put me in a trick question. Yes, I am absolutely independent of all what you mentioned. Now, since you don't believe it, don't have no knowledge to verify it, and can't prove it, what's the need of asking me another question? Because you don't believe it, so you're wasting time.
Well,
is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So when you humble yourself, you can ask another question. So then let the brother behind you come to the mic. Yes, sir. But it's not. Here's another thing. They didn't come to learn nothing. He's gone. Make sure you stop by the table, brother. Make sure you stop by the table and view what's going on there and maybe drop something in the bucket so the next time you come, the nation will be bigger. Oh, very good. No, that's all right, brother. When you learn how to phrase it, whether you know it or not, I know who I am. And I know when I'm being set up, and I know how you're doing it. So you're not going to use my messages that I raised to try to trick me and set me up. You should ask, how is it so? Not phrase a question, go through this long setup thing. So whichever way I say, I'm proving I'm not him. Then I ask you the question, since I'm wise enough to ask. Do you believe it? No. So why you asking that question? You should have said, well, I don't understand it. How could that be so? But you've already made a decision. No. You see? You see? Just like the brother said to me the other day. You eat. Just like the brother said, you eat. You lay down. You go to sleep. How can you be alive? Might have been you writing it on the neck. How can you be alive? Allah don't eat. He don't sleep. He don't rest. That is absolutely true. I don't. However, when I come into the vessel that's gone from this earth, I respect it. If it needs rest, I let it rest. If it needs to relieve itself, I let it relieve itself. The same as you get in your car and you ride until the gas runs out. It's not that the car is broke. You go to the gas station, put more gas in, because that's the design of the vehicle. The design of the body by God Himself has designed it to go through quite a bit of friction. So it needs to rest to repair itself. The body, not Allah. Now, if you think I'm lying, you should ask my wife. Many times she talked to me, she said, "You're not here." And I'm not. And if it's urgent, I come back and I talk to her. She said, "Well, I'm glad you come back because you weren't here, so I know what I was on doing something." So no, I don't sleep. And I don't eat. I don't drink. And I don't take no more foolishness.
Yes,
All of us need to know how things are done and why the messenger said what he said. He was talking to an ignorant people, absolutely illiterate. So he spoke in terms to get them to start to think, to get them ready to meet God. Then when I show up, I'm to give you the understanding of all things, not to repeat what the messenger said. To give you the understanding and develop what he said would take place, that I would do. That's exactly what I'm doing. So don't raise no question and try to trick me. Yeah, that's impossible. That's impossible. Since I got enough power, I don't have to trick you. Now, most certainly have enough power, you can't trick me. So you might, all of your planning, no trick wasn't in your mind at all. It might have been in your mind, this I really want to know. How he going to answer this? Yeah, that's what Satan is telling you to ask me. Now, if it was the angel, or if it was me telling you, you would have said, "Well, look, Father, according to what the messenger wrote in the book and everything, I would like to know what is the meaning of that." Because it could mean that, if you have to submit to these things, how could it be God? How could you be God? Then you're really asking a question. But to set it up, and then say, "Now, is it true? Are you free?" Yes. Then you'll go on to the next question. You said, if I said yes, you should have said, "Really? How so?" Then I could explain to you what I'm explaining now. You see? So I got to take the insult and still answer the question. So you don't need to answer no more questions until you understand that one. Yeah, other than that, I'm wasting time. Yes, sir. If you got another question, you can ask it after this brother asks it. Yes, sir, go ahead, brother. No, sir, go ahead.
I don't have any qualms at all. I mean, it's thank you. But I have some thoughts I was working on. One of them was, I think I figured out who Satan's mama was. Satan's mama.
Satan's mama?
Yeah. And the thought came to my head, you got to do a lot of the thought came to me that arrogance would be the medium by which you can be people. I didn't see the thought, that arrogance is the womb, like, so to speak, for getting forward. Like when the first guy stepped off the scene, when he put one on there, and the big head came on, I would say that arrogance is one of the main things that allows him to get into us.
Yes, sir, that's one of the things. The one that is more prevalent than that is personalism. Okay. Personalism is the number one thing that allows Satan to take over your thoughts. Personalism, being personal. That's the number one thing. Arrogance, jealousy, envy, all that stuff comes after. Personalism is one, the first.
Where we take it. You never wait on that to look at how that is.
Well, just like the brother standing behind you. He didn't take it personal. What I said to him, he didn't take it personal because he's still here. If he took it personal, and I didn't say that, he would keep on walking out. Because it's like a personal attack. Like the sister got up and asked, what was I when the children being killed? And because I answered it the way I should answer it for this time, she left. She took it personal. So she let Satan talk to her. Oh, this nigger up there talking about what, I don't understand that. He ain't God. I ain't standing here listening to that foolishness no more. So she left. So Satan got her to miss out on what she came here to get. Because of being personal. That's it.
One more thing I have. Kind of disagreement where you said you're the top warlord. All right? So I look at my life in conjunction that you say, well, you don't have to in your fight. That kind of upset me. Because I feel I was born for this time to come back into the battle. I feel like this here, I'm not disagreeing with your point. But I feel I was in the first fight when God said, let's go to war. So God, I just came back and finished the fight. But I don't have the tools yet to proper, I can't use no pistols no more, I can't use no knives and guns. Now you gotta show me what my weapon is. That's it.
Right here. If you really gonna use this, it can't get past you. And if you want to be physical, I got some situation come up. You can do that too. I might even be at that with you. I have my main hand man here. Show me a few moves. I'll watch him do it, and I'll repeat. We'll get in a competition to see if he's faster than me. We studied for a while. I ain't studied 9 days. I'll see how many he lay out. See how many I lay out. At the end of the day, we'll see who's best. Yes, sir. In other words, what is written is the promise from me to make sure that we don't get caught up in chasing wrong and get destroyed is that I will take care of the enemy. The kingdom is to be taken without hands. Now, if you want to do a little battle, I can always stir up a little something, you have a little hand-to-hand if that's what you want to do. Matter of fact, it's going to come to a time at the end of this war. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
You sure you're listening, black man?
Yes, sir.
At the end of this war, you're going to be physically confronted. Physically confronted. And matter of fact, there's going to be some competition with Wallace followers and Lewis followers. And if you're with me, just to make sure that the fight is halfway fair, you're going to have to put away your power. You're going to have to put them away because if you don't, it'll be like spanking your 2-year-old child. I'm telling you. Since I don't sleep, I don't eat, I don't do none of those things, so I'm always ready. Always ready. And when I'm not ready, I got 2 angels with me at all times, making sure that can't sneak up on me. I don't know how to tell you all this. I'm a very humble man because knowledge makes me that way. However, when it comes to warring, you already seen that from me. I've been talking about it and I've been doing things, I'm whipping this country. I'm literally whipping this country. And the only reason why nobody from no other country has come over here and did anything to this country is because of you. I don't let nobody come to do nothing to you. If it's going to do anything to you, I'll do it. Or let the slave master that made you his property do it, since you don't want to be with me. But no other country is going to come over here and do nothing to you. Because we sent to every one of them a warning. They ignored it. So it don't give them the right to come here to do nothing to you. And that's why I'm here. And you can believe it or leave it alone. If you're with me, you're going to live to see all the days. If you're not, well, then you're taking a chance. Living by love.
I got one more thing to kind of put in, The message of cash issues. Gagging back and forth. And to him, I thought he was you. I wrote him a letter and acknowledged him as the price, and he came to one of my karate tournaments. I took first place. He was in the parking lot, said we don't hurt nobody. It was all set up to where it seemed like he was it, But I kind of felt, after a while, I just left. I don't know what it was. I just went out here, in the street. I said, well, let me in here. I'm going to do the best I can with what I got. So I think it's a good shot. did what I could. I'm protected. I didn't do no stepping. I said, well, I just know I need to do what I could. Okay. But now, when I did, it didn't take me too much long to see who he was. I was just kind of careful. But how could I shouldn't have to go and tell him anything like that there, you know what I'm saying? So I thought he was.
Well, you don't have to do anything with him.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything with nobody. Don't chase wrong. Don't chase it. He was ordained by myself when I was in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. I told Elijah who he is and what he want to do. The big help he's going to be to him. The man did it. So I got something for him. I put it in the book. Don't touch him. I got something for him on this side, and I got something for him on the other side. Something that none of you are capable of giving him. Nobody but me. You got to remember, all of these hypocrites that was with the message, it's got to be brought back. If they have not passed, they got to be brought back to the altar. They got to be brought back to the Rasta. They got to be brought back to the Nation of Islam. Because the messenger has got something for them. And he's with me. So all of this has already been planned out. There's nothing that either one of you all have to plan to do. You don't have to plan to do nothing other than get your own stuff together. Now, if you are aggressed upon and someone is the aggressor against you, you got the God-given natural right to defend yourself. You can either fight them or kill them. That's up to you. Just don't you ever be the aggressor. So when it comes time, when it comes crystal clear that the black man is going to be the God to rule this planet, then everybody's going to come against you. The white man's coming, the Russians coming, the Chinese are coming. If you want to see some real showing up fighting, stick close to me. I'm going to show you how it's done. I can't wait myself. I can't wait. I want my wife to stand on the side so she can say, go, baby. That's my man. That's right. It's just, well, time is passing.
I know. Anyway, in your struggle with this female, when she said that the way you listening to your tape, picking this skin or not?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when we was separating ourselves from the female and we broke off the part I was done, is it possible for us to call the first one that we broke off on we divided ourselves behind and went down? Can I call her out of where is she at?
Well, she passed about, about 10, 12 years ago. No, it's about 15 years ago now. The first woman that was ever made was here. And her and I spoke, talked a good little while. We gave her a man because she was a very good woman. And she wanted to see the God. And he came to be in his new self. So we brought her back. And so her and I sat and talked and whatnot. We were very close friends. And because she was such a good woman, we gave her a husband. And his name was Saint. The man worked for a company for 33 years and never missed a day. Never missed a day, never took off sick. Just how diligent and faithful the man was. And they were in love with each other. He went first and then she went. Let me see, is that right? If I'm not mistaken, that's what took place. I don't care if you remember because I don't keep up with that. I just know both of them gone. So, I don't think you'll be calling her back yet. We're going to bring her back.
I understand that. You can call her back. I will clarify that again. I mean,
in other words, when we made the woman, it wasn't no taking something from us, other than the germ or the sperm of life. We had to make her from water. Water has the power in and of itself to almost stand up correct. And if it did, it was because of an outside force called cold that made it freeze, and it was stand. But as soon as it got to the point where it could be movable, it had to lay back down. So that kind of power, since we didn't know how to reproduce ourselves the way we used to, we went into the water and used the power of water and then put the part from us into it to give it to stand up ability. And that's why we call her woe man or water man. Because it's a man from water. But the part from us that we put in it gives her the ability to stand. And that's why after we made her, everything about us is in two. 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 lips, two set of teeth, 2 arms, 2 legs. It's because man and woman. You got to have 2 now to produce the life. When once before it was only 1. So it wasn't that she was with us and we took apart enough. She's basically from the water.
We got everything we had from the beginning right now.
Yes, sir. We still got it. The only thing that we don't have as much of, we took from ourselves. After we made her, we took from ourselves the biggest part of our emotion and put it in that. Because emotion always calls in hesitation in creation. So to make sure that we was eliminated that phase of it, we took it out and put it in her. And then we went about creating and making and whatnot, and then she would come up and confirm what we made, whether she liked it or not. And she could be emotional about it. And then we could do something about that emotion. But it wasn't in us like it used to be. So that's the only thing we put into her as far as attributes of God or ourselves. We put the power in that so it could stand erect. And gave her the seed from us. We gave her in her head knowledge and gave her physical life in the womb. And it was already genetically coded in the sperm for what we wanted it to be. We put it there and placed it and left it. And after a certain period of time, she gave it back to us. Developed. Because that's the way we planned.
Yeah, we were. In my study and trying to see the correct way of seeing things, even before he came on the scene, I was trying to discuss it with Bible. So I took a look at one and said, okay, you tell me what's happening. And then I said, well, if I look at something positive or optimistic, I'm coloring it with this color that I have in my mind. Or if I look at it negative, with lack of faith and whatever, all the negative attributes. Then I got to the point, I said, well, now if I could get not positive or negative, in my attitude, then I could see a thing for what it really is. If I could get it to 0, but I studied numbers, and whenever I got to the numbers, it always, they didn't have no proper explanation. Until you came in, then I got to 0. But is that a way to scientifically to observe, say if I look at a brother, and I don't look at him with no attitude, I just look at him, just blank, so to speak. Then he can tell me what he is. If I look at him positive or negative, I'm coloring the situation. Is that correct?
Well, yes, sir, in that description that you gave. However, this is what causes God to be, I would say excited, but cause him to be pleased about being God. Because everything that he does, he always leaves room for you to put that color on. In other words, he leaves room for you if you want to get married. Like you say, it's almost, to find a good woman is almost impossible. However, if you God, you go get what you get. And then when you get it, it's at such way where you can shape it if you're man enough. But if it is, and you try to color it, and you can't, because it is, you can't do that with it. But God I don't do things that way. I always fix things or make things or prepare things or create things where there's flexibility. So when the next God come along, there's something that he can add himself to that or extract it to add to him. So, they can become one. If it's with this church, it's with the fans. I was looking on TV here, I keep seeing the thing on there, just going on you see the channel it's like a strobe light on the flag. So I'm thinking now, when somebody else gets the tape, and they see the tape, that's going to be something that distracts them. So if I'm not saying the truth, something that's really interesting to them, they're not going to really hear what I'm saying. Because this is distracting them. In other words, there's always room for you to apply yourself. You see? Now, what you said, by making yourself total blank, and you look at the brother, and then you'll see exactly what's there. Yes.
Correct.
Yes, that's correct if that's what you want to do. And now, if you just looking at a brother, now if you're looking at me, you make yourself really blank, and you look at me, you're not going to see what's here. Because I'm camouflaged. I'm alive, but this ain't really me. This is me for you at this time. This is the, please. You think I'm going to keep looking like this?
No, sir.
So what I'm saying is, the point is, if you put on your blank expression and you look at me to see what's really here, you're not going to see what's really here.
Okay, so you got a man.
Yes, sir.
Well, you ain't got this food. I know. I see you there. I know you got it. I'm not, I'm just saying.
Yes, sir. Okay.
But anyway,
Time is passing.
Sir?
Time is passing.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, sir, brother Solomon or Brother Royall. Before I go into my question, there was and there is no disrespect intended. However, I've always been very.
Well, this is the point. This is the point.
Big part?
I said, this is the point. Not to cut you off, but you and I are going to dialogue a little bit.
Okay.
At this day and time, intentions are not accepted. What you intend to do and what you should do, two different things. Especially when I'm teaching you how to do what should be done instead of what you intend to be done. That's been a big problem of ours as an excuse. Well, I intend. Well, that alone lets you know something is wrong with intention, because it can be taken for what it is not. You're supposed to, like you say, you're in the lesson teaching, you're supposed to say what you mean and mean what you say. So there is no intentions there. And you will save a lot of time if you don't preempt me. If you got a question, yes, ask. Then if I don't come up with the right answer that you think will satisfy you, then tell me why you don't accept it. And I say, oh, I understand. But we go into something else. We can dialogue.
Okay. The brown germ is still present in me, brother. I'm acknowledging that. So when I use the terminology or phraseology, what my intentions are.
No.
I'm just thinking through.
I'm not coming against you, but we're doing some teaching now. We dialogue.
Okay.
What you're about to share with me is an excuse. It's not necessary. You're speaking with the law whether you know it or not. I've already given you the key. Forget intention. Just ask the question. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to make yourself clear, because you're destroying yourself. Just come out and say it.
Well,
that's hard.
My reason, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches that excuses is rooted in falsehood. Reasons are rooted in truth. So I'm giving rationale to every statement or every
you don't
question.
have to.
Well, I feel that I have to until I come into that knowledge.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Now, the question that was asked of me in reference to yourself is to whether I believe in the position that you took. And I stated that I didn't believe. And the reason that I took that position is because belief and knowing is two different realities. Now, had you stated whether I acknowledge you for knowing that which you made reference to, I would have been in accord with it if there was a certain type of explanation that went with it, such as if you had said, well, brother, man, I am man. And man is a master of the atoms of nature, and we can master every atom that is within the universe. Okay, we can change the molecular structure. If enough heat hits that wall, it can change the molecular structure of that wall. If enough
let me ask you a question.
I would have been in agreement.
Let me ask you a question, brother. Let me ask you a question. Did you solicit this building to have a meeting as being allowed?
Did I solicit the
Did
building?
you get this building, and did you set up this meeting that we are experiencing here today?
I had no direct involvement.
Or you had no direct involvement, so we'll take the answer as no, you didn't.
That's correct.
All right. I did. And I'm saying and proving that I am the supreme being. So, why would you waste my time you trying to teach me? You come should be to be taught. And allow yourself to be taught by me, the one that say he is Allah. So for you to tell me all the things that you're telling me, I'm telling you as Allah, you're taking up and wasting time. Simple as that, point blank. If you're going to tell me that I should have came out and gave some explanation as to why, and that I said, did you believe? Yes, I asked you to believe because I know you don't know. The best you could do is believe. The best you could do is believe because you don't know. If you did know, the question would have never came the way that it did. So I, being the teacher, since I'm the one that is conducting the meeting, I'm the teacher, I'm the professor, so I'm teaching you how to convey what you want to convey to the teacher as you being a student. But no, you want to come as the teacher to teach the teacher. To show me I can't be who I say I am because you are now going to teach the teacher. Impossible. So that's what I'm saying, you waste your time. You got a question, just ask it. Instead of going through all this preemption of me.
Well, let me ask this question because it gives birth to another question. When I hear certain things that you mentioned, then other questions immediately come to mind. Brother Solomon, when we look at the Quran, and Allah gives an expression, an intention. Now, he gives an intention, an expression. Now, I know that it can be seen on 4 or 5 different levels. I can see them myself. He says, speaking to the angels, that I'm going to make a ruler and place him in the earth. And the angels respond, will thou create that which will create mischief in the shedding of blood? Now, that question could have been offensive to the God, because that's certainly, if everything in his universe is harmonic, and then out of all the questions that the angel could ask, they ask a question of apprehension and whether or not he's going to create or make something that will bring about mischief and bloodshed. Now, that question, like, you may have thought my question was challenging or insulting, that goes with the territory, because the angel.
Now you're assuming.
Beg your pardon?
Now you are assuming that what the angels asked to God is, it could be the same as what you just did, and God should have took it as being an insult. However, he didn't.
Well, he said, I know what you know not. And I would perhaps expect that same type of.
I'm telling you the same thing in many words.
Okay, well,
just by me saying I'm the teacher, brother. I'm the one that's paying for this. I'm the one that's coming here saying I'm Allah. I'm the one that's giving the knowledge to bear witness saying I'm Allah. So how much more you want to say? I know what you know not.
Okay, well, brother,
you satisfied now?
But Solomon, you have to agree that I was calculated in the equation as well, because I'm here. And Allah does nothing without aim and purpose. According to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he teaches that there is only one mind, and that's the divine mind. However, there are many ideas in which we empower ideas to give the impression that they're different minds. So I'm here. I was factored into the equation.
What is your question?
My initial question out of the 4 that I wanted to ask was that and I'm pausing because I don't want to make one error in how the question should be asked. Because unless one word can change the whole context of a statement. When that first God experienced an incident that had occurred, when we look at free will, that consciousness or that entity, it has a duality. One is adherence, and the extreme of adherence is submission. And resistance, and the extreme of resistance is rebellion. And Allah is the creator in the essence of all things. When he saw resistance manifesting itself from an aspect of his creation. With respect to when he asked of the angels to make obeisance or bow down to man, and that they all submitted with the exception of Iblis. When resistance manifested itself in the form of one of his creations, what did that tell him about himself? When I say that, I'm talking about not necessarily the structural material of a being. I'm talking about the consciousness or the entity that's called free will that we all have. And we can apply this free will either adhering or resisting, and the extreme of that will lead to rebellion. But when free will, which is a created thing itself, when it manifested a certain aspect of its essence, what did that tell the God of himself? That's the question? That's one of my questions.
It's hard to fill up a chicken with water that's still there. What did that tell me?
When resistance.
Now, I got your question, sir. I'm trying to phrase it where you might understand. The answer to that is, first place, he told me that the ones that was asking questions didn't know. And the one that said no, he would not submit, he also said why. He said, I can't submit to nobody else because you didn't make me to submit. So the God didn't know what he made. He's offering an opportunity for this rebellious man that you were speaking about to submit himself to his maker. But to show the scientists and the rest of the intelligent people that's with God that this man has to be destroyed, so when he performs what he does, you won't say nothing when I go destroy him, because I'm going to let you see what he's going to do. So I'm going to ask the question to everybody. And now you watch his answer. How many of you all will submit to a man shaped and fashioned out of mud that I will make ruler over the earth? Everybody said, yes, I will, except this one you said, Iblis. He already know what the man was going to say because he made it, and Iblis reminded him, which he didn't have to remind him. It was done for the ones that were standing next to God so that they could see, because they yet did not understand how can a man be on the planet in God's plan and don't submit to God. What kind of man could this possibly be? Who could you possibly make, God? Not that he was being insulting to God. These people have knowledge. So it's knowledge talking to knowledge. Here's God saying, well, look, I'm going to make a man make him vice chair over the planet here. So the one that's already vice chair, you going to do what? Well, look, everything is running so perfect. What could you possibly make? Other than someone that's going to cause mischief and bloodshed in the land. I'm just asking, well, I know I'm a good math student. I can't come up with math to show me what you could make. And the God says, well, I know what you know not. However, what he said could be made, he was right. That's the only thing could be made. And we proved it. Just when they asked who will submit, he said, I can't submit because you didn't make me. So how did I feel? What did that bring up? Nothing. It brought up joy to me because it lets me know, hey, this man's going to live his way out, and when it gets time for me to kill him, everybody's going to be in agreement with me. Because he's starting off rebellion. So he ain't embarrassed me. I'm writing it in the book so he will remember. I'm giving you 6 days to rebel, boy. On the 7th day, Daddy's coming home. And you better have your things in order because you're going to have to go. Get your bags packed and make sure they're fireproof. That's what it is. In other words, you seem to be a good brother, but you're confused. You done read too much, did too much before you got to me. And you allowed that other free will in your thinking to determine what is and what isn't because you seemingly haven't met nobody to put what you got in your mind in its proper place to put you in check. So, by your efforts and what you're doing shows me you're a good man. However, if you want to be a right man instead of a good man, acknowledge what's taking place. I'm the man. I am the man. You're a man. I'm the man that come here to make you God. If you let me, because you still got the free will. If you let me. If you don't, I can't make you. But you can't stop me from what I'm doing, nor what I shall do. And I've already told you what I'm going to do. I've already told you. I'm going to bring hell on you. And the fight that I had coming over the state of Ohio, for all these hypocrites that so died in their garments that they just can't submit, they're just going to be a die-hard hypocrite like Royall and a few other people. Yes, I'm going to have them in the deepest part of the fight. Just make sure you're not a part of that. You already have it waiting. These things you all don't know about. You don't know about it. The Quran says that these people will be in the deepest part of the fire. You think, well, hell, you're going to be in hell, and that's in the earth. Oh, no. It's coming from up, down. So to put you into the deepest part, I got to bring what you're standing on up. Let you go meet it 6 miles before the rest of it. And let you sit at a rope 6 miles high. Ohio, oh, so high. I'm taking it up there. And so the thing that you're saying, I understand. As far as you being a good brother, you can be. First, you got to tell yourself, you don't understand everything you know. Understanding is the last thing that comes. Understanding don't come with knowing. Only thing comes with knowing is power. And if you don't understand that same power that you gain from knowing, you'll kill yourself with it if you're not careful. So that's what you're doing now. If your behavior and your thinking don't change, you've prompted yourself to take the power that you have to hurt yourself. You all understand what I'm saying? Yes, sir. So, you're no threat to me. You're no threat to anyone else. We can see that you're well read. We can see that you're well studied. However, now, there has to be a place for you to apply what you have learned. So you will come with the right understanding of it. Not only will you have power, you have controlled power of it. Not just you have power. If you can understand what I'm saying. Will everybody up? Yes, sir. Okay. So whatever you have learned from what the messenger said, all of that needs to be understood. He did not give the understanding. He didn't give the understanding of the lesson. Matter of fact, he didn't even come up with them. I gave it to him. I didn't tell him to give them to you all. That was his decision to give it to you. But to make sure that you know who I am, I come and give you the understanding of this, which nobody has given. Nobody. And now, I'm quite sure you're reading that. You see the center pages that I write. It's almost equal. Matter of fact, it is the same equivalent as writing the Quran. You and nobody else can write this thing. Because you don't have the knowledge. You're not a nature man. You're a knowledge man. You write from knowledge of what somebody else has said, what they're doing. I write from the nature of the thing.
Yes, sir.
And so when I write, it's just like reading the Quran. But it's more up to date.
That's right.
It's more applicable.
That's right.
It's more suitable. Matter of fact, it's right on. I just love myself.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to be, I just said, that was somewhat of a joke, but I do love being God. Because I don't care how much you hate me today, if you keep living, that hate's going to turn to love. And you're going to really say there's a thin line between love and hate. You're going to love the old boy, I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
Because you're going to see that I'm really for real. I'm not trying to be God. I am that. I ain't trying to be cute, because I ain't cute. You see? I ain't trying to be handsome, because I ain't handsome. You might say, well, yes, you are, Father. You wait till you see me a little later. Then you say, Father, you was telling the truth. Now I know what handsome really is. Can I have a little bit of what you got?
Yes, sir.
I'm more than happy to give it to you. I'm a giver, brother. I really love the black man. I love what he's capable of doing. I love how you think. It's just that you got to get your thinking in priority. And nobody can make you do that until you come up on me or somebody that has the knowledge and the understanding of it, that is willing to share it with you if you're willing to listen. And you'd be surprised the difference that it will make in your outlook. Because right now you don't see no end to nothing. You don't see the end of this. You don't see it. I see the beginning, the middle, and the end. And then I see the beginning. Because I am the beginning. I'm here calling you out of hell. I'm here calling you out of hell. I'm not going to make you come out, but I'm calling you out. If you decide to come out, you're going to be happy. Specific thought. Like I said, I got a fire. When that fire is finishing, it ain't gonna be no more Satan. It ain't gonna be no more devil, whether it be black or white. It's true. You know the greatest devils are black. The greatest devils are black. That's why the fire has to be hotter than any fire that's known. Because I have to destroy your entity. As it is today, your entity comes from the sun, so you get that kind of heat, it's like you hell. I'm just back at home.
That's right.
This might seem simple, but it's true. I don't have nothing against you, brother, and I'm not pretending. So I hope you take what I've shared with you as being the truth. And anything that you don't feel, that I answered right, just ask me right. And I'll explain it. Now, you don't have to accept it. But that don't make no difference because you got a whole lot of other ears here besides yours. We'll walk away with your understanding. You walk away confused because you want to be personal.
Okay, the three other questions that I had, and again, I'm confident in my understanding of what I read of which the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gives us. The books, Most to the Black Man, Our Savior Has Arrived, How Do You Live, Black Islam.
Get to it, though. Get to it.
My question, second question, is Messenger teaches that we write our history 25,000 years in advance, which equals a mile for each year, and that there are scientists that are able to see through time to the exactness of what will transpire, the events of consequence that will transpire within that 25,000 year circumference time period. Messenger also states that prior to the separation of the moon, we wrote our history 35,000 years to equal the circumference of our home. There was a brother that became dissatisfied because of his inability to get the people to speak the same dialect. Frustration overtook him. He decided to destroy all. Why are you teaching me? Well, it's a question. It's a question that I have. My question is that if we, the scientists, can see the circumference of that 25 or 35 year history, and his intentions was to destroy all civilization, which he did not do, and his ability to see the 35,000 year history, did he see himself not being successful in destroying all civilization? If he did, why did he go through with the splitting of the planet if his intention was to destroy all civilization, which all civilization was not destroyed, and he had a full scope of a 35,000 year history?
Well, that particular God didn't have no full scope of it. He didn't have it. No particular God has it. Only the God himself holds that. The ones that come in are acting for the 25,000 or the 35,000 years. None of them live those 35,000, the whole thing. They only know the portion of which they're living. And they're given that in script or through inspiration. It ain't like they got the book and say, well, man, I ain't supposed to be blown to earth. That's not written. That wasn't there. So he came up with this on his own, but the God knew. And that's when the attribute of death came in and established itself. Because of what the God did. Not that the real God didn't know. The one that was living, acting as God didn't. Just like the 25,000 years that they write used to write. This particular cycle, they wrote up to the 15,000 year and stopped. Say, we can't write so far. I know we've been writing it for thousands and thousands of years, 25,000 years in advance, but this one, we can't do it. Because the one that's coming on the scene now is brand new. And we don't know what he's going to do. His light is so bright, we know whatever he's done is right, so we have to close the book and wait like everybody else. You're looking at him dressed in red.
Well, the messenger teaches that this knowledge is passed from father to son, from father to son. So when I say the knowledge of that 35 or 25,000 year history is written in a book, and the messenger teaches this to put it in a book. Okay, now we know that the book is our understanding. Okay, but I'm saying that this history is recorded and it's passed.
Why
down.
don't you ask me how is it recorded?
Well, how is it recorded?
The knowledge that is passed down from father to son, that is a secret, was the knowledge of who God is and what God does. That's all. Not what was a secret as to what is supposed to take place. And he got to pass that down. I can tell you many things, like I told you about Ohio. Raising it up 6 miles. So I can place people in the deepest part of the fire. Yeah, I said that, but now, how am I going to do it? That's what everybody's been missing, the how. You can sit there and say what the messenger said and quote it and try to teach me all over again what I taught the messenger. But he never told you how it was going to happen. You tell me, well, they passed the knowledge from father to son. Yes, the knowledge of God and who God is, not of how to do anything. So you got your passing of what was passed from father to son mixed up. Simple as that. Real simple. But until you see the simplicity of it, if you see it, you think you got it. Well, you don't. I understand why you're thinking that way. Because you ain't met me yet. You're just right on the net. You think I'm not God. Now you're face to face with it.
I mean, are we saying that I wasn't calculated in the equation, brother? I mean, because if I'm
yes, sir. No, sir. You personally, no.
Okay.
You were not calculated
okay.
You were not calculated in the equation for being here or even being on the planet. Your behavior was calculated, yes. And the antidote for it was also calculated, yes. So you're no threat to no one but you. So it's not that I don't recognize you as being a live, living, perpetual God yet, but you have to make that choice, not me. The only thing I am obligated to you is to offer you the opportunity. That's all. And offering you the opportunity is to share with you the knowledge of why and how things are done at the time when it is needed. Then you cannot say, I am not being who I'm supposed to be. The deliverer. From misery to happiness. From sadness to gladness. I'm doing just that. Even with the way that you posture yourself, that's the best you can do. I'm still tolerating it and asking you. Whether you want to accept it or not, that's still a choice of yours. But you can't charge me for not sharing right and exact with you. Is that clear?
Yeah. Last question. There was certain questions or acts of main geographical locations of birth. There's a city called Waterbury, and that's the city that I was born, Waterbury, Connecticut.
Oh.
Okay. In your assessment, what does that state in terms of how this is changed? I can take it as a mean or however you want to.
You mean what does Waterbury mean?
Waterbury, Connecticut.
Waterbury, Connecticut. Well, Waterbury means the bearer of knowledge. Connecticut means one that is stuck or that has attached itself to. It is a connected place. You understand? Now, if you don't understand, this means this. Most people that are from Connecticut are very personal. They stick to what they think they have. They stick to it. You know, the connection to the land or to the idea that is produced there, they stick to it. Danny Gray started there. The man died with the idea that he had died. So most everybody that come with us, and we can bear witness, got those that are with me, can bear witness. Most of the people that come from Connecticut that are with us, that's exactly what you do. You know, they have quite a bit of knowledge. And every time I go to Connecticut, if you want to hear some knowledge, get the Connecticut tape. They say, Father, every time you go to Connecticut, what happens? You be laying it out there. Because I know who I'm talking to. people. So that's what it means. It means that you all stick to what you come into, that area, what it is, you stick to it. And water bearer means you're the bearer of knowledge. Now, the bearer of it and the sharing of it, they don't mean that you give understanding of it. They don't even mean that you have understanding. But you do have the knowledge. And we can see you guys. What can I say? Get knowledge, wisdom, and all of your gifts. And all of your gifts. Get understanding. I'm the man to give it to you, share with you, if you allow me to do it.
Which tribe would you say something about?
Looking at you from here, look like you from the God tribe, the 13th tribe. However, you have enough knowledge to start to give direction, purpose, and aim if you first understand. What you got, you can't give it to other people the way you got it. The time for that is up. The time for going back to the message literature and reading that is up. Time for the message is up. I don't want to see no sign 10 miles to Los Angeles and I'm in the center of Los Angeles. The sign is in the wrong place. So the same thing with this. God is here. Don't want you come telling me about no message. I'm here. I sent the message to get ready for me to show up. So now I'm showing up. You want to ignore me and stick with the message. That's out of time and out of place. It's just simple. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
That's what happened. That's what happened. So, if I were you, I would make sure that I would seek understanding in a way where you can take the knowledge that you have and share it with someone else where they will understand it according to the time. Not according to the time it was given. Got it?
Yes, sir.
You go to school, you learn your timetable. After that, you don't, even when you're using the math, you don't refer back to your timetables as timetables. You use it. You get into calculus, you don't go back to the timetable. But before you started, the message was the timetable. That's the standard. That's the basis. That's the example. If you got that, you got it. That means from there you can magnify, you can grow, you can develop. From the message, that's the standard. From there, you're supposed to magnify, you're supposed to grow, you're supposed to develop. Not stay with the message. Make sure you don't, I'm here. I cannot say that enough, I can't say it enough, I'm here. And you know one thing? If nobody wants me, including you, if nobody loves you, I know the universe loves you. I know it. And can prove it. Matter of fact, when the scientists were speaking with me, they said, Royall, we love you. And why? Because you love truth so much, you'll even try to find it in wrong. You'll even try to find it in wrong. Meaning I already know it's wrong, but before I condemn it, let me look to see if there's any truth in it. And for that, they say, I love you. I love you. And you don't have to worry about nothing. I don't care how bad things look, how bad things come to you, don't worry. We got you. So I said, well, what you're saying, some bad things going to come. He said, oh, naturally, some bad things going to come. But don't you worry about it. It's necessary. And I've experienced quite a few things that's unpleasurable. After I went through it, I said, so it was necessary. So I got to the point now, I see it before it comes. If I want it to come, I let it come. If I want to get rid of it, I stop it in its tracks. I meet it at midnight. Send it back to its maker. We're in a crisis right now as I speak to you. We have grown to the size now that the membership cannot support what we're doing. The membership cannot support what we're doing because of our size. So I've taken another route. I've gone to solicit in a godly manner funds, finances, and a support from another direction. Because you won't support. You'd rather support a ministry than take your money and buy all kinds of foolishness where you get nothing. Now the war's coming, he's saying, shut up. Don't say nothing. He's not asking you what to eat. I'm telling you, go get the beans. Get you 400 or 500 pounds of beans. They ain't going to spoil it. The only way they spoil it is put them in water and don't eat it. You know, if you want the real gangster, I'm for you, 212. Know you up. Working in the bomb, you protect this.
Yes, brother, not that I'm a follower of anyone, whether it might be yourself or Minister Farrakhan or anyone else. I try to stick strictly to the messenger's teaching. But do you see Minister Farrakhan as an adversary, or...
I see him as a hypocrite. That's what he is. I see him, like the brother said, I look at him as for what he is. He is the full-blown hypocrite. He ain't no adversary, not of mine. He ain't powerful enough to be an adversary. He's a charmer, and I'm not saying you following anything. But this man has charmed half of the youth, the people that could actually be useful in doing what the messenger said. He's charmed them, which is written about him in the Bible. Hypnotized them. And a question for you, how in the world can you live by exactly what the messenger said? It's impossible without accepting me. That's impossible.
Well, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad stated that when Allah created the heavens and the earth, He destroyed the impossible. But however,
This brother is really joking.
what I'm saying is that if Minister Farrakhan is an opponent or an adversary, he's perhaps one of the most eloquent and articulate personalities that we have in this day and time. And if, as one states, that you are the God and the most powerful God that is on scene today, and he's opposing you, then that is a God, he's a God that is opposing the most powerful being, meaning yourself, as you say.
Well, he's opposing. I won't say he's a God. He's a hypocrite that's opposing.
Well, he has force and power.
No, sir, he don't have no force and power.
Well, he has influence, and he has no compelling power. He has suggestive power, and through his ability to articulate the word, whether it's correct or incorrect.
Well, let me say this.
He has captured the imagination of the people.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. Let me say something. Nothing happens unless I permit it. Just like I cut you off. I didn't permit you to go any further. The same thing with him. You want to suggest that he has power only because I permit him to do what he's doing as an example to the stiff-necked, hard-headed people that want to ignore God. He's the example of it. I'm the example of right. He's the example of wrong. Now, wait a minute. We want to get this power base straightened out here. If he has power, it's because I permit him to do that. The same is with white folks. We know what we're going to bring about. Because before we brought him out, we said, I already know what I'm going to do. I know what you know not. So it means I know. So with Lewis, him doing what he's doing, we put it in the Bible. We put it in the Quran about Aaron. We already know what he's going to do. So why should I say, oh man, he's a power coming against me, so I better get rid of him. Then I'm a liar. Because I said what he's going to do before he did it. And if I knew it, if I didn't want him to do it, it wouldn't have been written. Wouldn't have been done. But we knew it and we allowed it to be done. Why? That's what you should be asking. Not that he has a power coming against me. That's competition. There is no competition when it comes to me. There is none. It only seems like it.
Well,
do you all understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Seems like it. So, before anybody comes to me, whether they're young or old, and they're with him, and he kept them for me, then they can see, well, yes, I can see why he had to have his anus removed. I can see why he had the cancer. He earned it. I can see why God said, take him up on the top of Mount Horeb and strip him of his arena, and there he shall die. I can see why. Because he earned it. Since he had a free will, we had to give him the same courtesy as we give you. Just because he was put in the position as being the reminder, Farrakhan was the reminder, not Lewis. So Farrakhan did what he was supposed to do. Now we have to give Lewis the same opportunity that Farrakhan had or anybody else would have. So giving him that opportunity, now we see what he did with it. So not that he's got some power to come against me. It's a mercy from me to him to see what he's going to do. Now we all see it. And then we all see the reward of his action. The wages of sin is death, and especially if you're a hypocritical sinner. Death. And from his death is flow from the inside out. sitting on his seat, which he can't hardly sit no more. You see what I'm saying? And we put it in the Bible, put it in Scripture. Day by day he will die from the reason of his bowels falling out. Tell me it ain't there. And then in Malachi, tell me if it's not there. The one that was ruling and took the seat, he was so rotten in his rulership that we took dung and rubbed all over him. And the ones that's with him in his family. You know what dung is? Dung is doo-doo. But so it's there. So it ain't like, oh man, I didn't know this. I didn't know he was going to come up against me. I didn't know. Please. You still haven't got it in your head. You still loving the messenger and can't see the sender or the raiser of the messenger. It's knowledge. The messenger never taught you this knowledge what I'm teaching you. He never gave you the understanding, shared with you the understanding of what I'm sharing about the message or about anybody that is in the nation. He ain't told you nothing about Sharif. He ain't told you nothing about Wallace. He ain't told you nothing about Herbert. He ain't told you nothing about none of them people. None of them. I know them all, what they did before they were here in this life, and what they're doing in this life now, and what's going to happen to them in the next life. I already know. And because I allow it to take place so that the angels such as you can see it, when I do them in, you ain't going to come to me and say, well, that wasn't right. If you gave him some more time, a little more knowledge, he would have been right. No, you can come to the man. Damn, I'm sure glad you got rid of that. You understand what's being said?
Yes, sir.
I know I'm keeping you a little late, or you keeping me one. Got a brother behind me.
Pass one more.
Oh.
One other question.
Is this one?
One.
All right. Let's see if it's a question.
Does Allah possess the knowledge? Since he's self-created, does he possess the knowledge of what leads up to his destruction?
Who's destruction? Allah's destruction? I mean, who's destruction?
The question that I have is, Allah being all-knowing, does he possess the knowledge of what the essence of destruction is, and does that knowledge succumb himself?
It would be if it was the original Allah, yes. Since I am the new, he that makes all things new. Yes, sir, I have the knowledge and will not be succumbed. I have the knowledge to supersede. I'm here doing my favor for the original Allah, because what you said, that's exactly what would happen. If he put it into motion, the final destruction, he would destroy himself.
Okay.
Because he would not be able to get rid of what he wanted to get rid of without destroying himself. I'm here to make sure that don't happen.
Now there's a phase 2 to that same question. Can I answer that? Or I said one question.
Go ahead.
Just in one question.
Go ahead, because I don't want you going right on the net. I asked him a question, he couldn't answer. Go ahead. Position
that Minister Farrakhan takes, the course that he has taken. You say that he has captured the imagination of many people through influence or through whatever it may be. And it is by your permissive will that he is allowed, not your active will. Your permissive will. Is that correct? Yes, sir. All right. If you're not actively involved in promoting what's taking place. No, sir. Then what force and power, getting back to that, what force and power does he possess to stand in defiance of oneself if you're not actively involved in what he's promoting? What force and power is he acting on that is resisting or not being in accord, or let's just say not acknowledging your authenticity?
He's acting on the accord of Satan. Satan is feeding him. And he's doing it through self-aggrandizement, hate, jealousy, envy, personalism. He's using all of the tenets of Satan and allowing Satan to constantly talk to him to make him think he's going to outweigh me. When there was nothing wrong with him and he was full health, I went to him and talked to him like I'm talking to you. And I let him know, because he is in a position that we put him in, he refused to do what he should do in that position, that I'm not going no place. I will wait to see how long he will stand under a weight he's not designed to carry. So I'm keeping my promise. I stepped aside and waited. So they're going to try to take the nation. I started the real nation. So now the wait is about to pay off. You all understand what's being said?
Yes, sir. Brother Solomon, is there any specific time that you can give us to where Minister Farrakhan, George Bush, and any other adverse force will be unseated? Is there any specific day, time that can be given to us as to when either of these elements that is not in accord with the original idea will be unseated?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, that can be given.
That can?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I would like to know that, sir.
But I'm not giving. You're not one of my sons. I want to pass from the father to the son. You're one of the cousins. So I'm not sharing it with you.
Okay, I can accept that. Yes, sir. Okay, I'm allowed.
You know, you asked a question, you may be asking it in honesty. Pardon? I said, you asked a question and you may be asking it in all honesty.
Oh, I am.
However, you think you're the only ears that listen?
Oh,
Now,
no.
you don't have to answer it. I'm just asking it as a question for you to think, just to bring your conscience. You may think that I'm nothing, but the world is watching me. The world, all the believers is watching me. They're watching. They listen. They get the tape before y'all get it. So they're looking to, oh man, how much time we got? He said, what? Oh, so we can go do this? Oh, no, I'm not giving up that kind of information. Does it exist? Yes. Am I going to share it with you in this kind of forum? No.
But that certainly would convince the population. When one
I'm not looking to convince the population. I ain't looking to convince them. I already am God. What should convince them is I have a place for them to go when they don't have no place to go. What should convince them that I'm raising a black man up when they couldn't do it. What should convince them is that I am God and that I am a loving God. And I'm providing everything that you need. And I'm taking care of the enemy as I said I would do. With no hand. I'm using rain, hail, snow, and earthquake to take care of the enemy here without killing you in the process if you don't want to be killed. So you should go with that. Not for me saying some particular date. That ain't gonna happen. That's not, and even if I give the date, my meanings and dates is not the same as yours. So if it comes before, you say, oh, he didn't say it was then. If it comes after, oh, he lied. No, my time is not your time. It's not calculated on the time that white folks have. Because their time is only 6,000 years. They've always been in a hurry. They're always, and they're really in a hurry now. They got to strike out at Islam and try to kill it. Any place they can find it because they see their end. They see it, they see it, they see it. Now, if I'm going to give them an absolute date, now they say, oh man, we was going to bomb Iraq and do this so-and-so next week. But we better do it now. Because next week we ain't going to have any time. We better do it right now. No, I'm not giving that kind of date. And it don't mean I'm not allowed. And I'm not out to convince the public. If they can't see that I am who I am by what I'm doing, they're hell with it. And to make sure white folks are going to come back to you, that's something else too. Y'all ain't seen white folks. We have not seen white folks. Since they have been living in all this luxury, so to say, this technology age, they have somewhat taken their attention off the black man and make you think he's so sweet and he's loving and he understands, he's a pretty nice guy. You ain't seen him. You have not seen him. I'm going to let you see him. So if you think I'm nothing, go on out with him. And when he finishes with your iron part, it ain't going to be nothing left for me to have. Now, I'm telling you, you ain't seen it. So you better be running quickly to me. Because it ain't like you can come to me and overnight you hold. No. Because you come in with all, however old you are, that's how much devastation you come with, even if you use with the messages. You come in with misunderstanding, aggregate thinking. So it takes time for the mind to receive something and digest it, and then become that. So you wait until the last second, now you used up your time. You come, but you can't relate. Just like the sister came to the mic. She couldn't understand why I let little children die. So much so she can't understand. She leaves. She's insulted. She leaves. You see? It takes time, brother, for your mind to digest certain things. So who's to say I'm going to keep giving you time for that? I'm not. So I'm going to let the devil have you. And when he finishes with you, it will make what is written true. Hell prepared you for me. When he finishes whipping your hind parts, if you can finally make it, you will most certainly be of the submissive ones. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Brother Solomon, I think the sister's question that she asked was a sincere question. And I think...
Brother, wait. Sister, give me ask you a question. No more questions from you. I don't deal with sincerity. In the word of sin. I deal with the truth. The question has to be truthful or not. I don't want no sincere. Forget sincere. That's the language of the devil, to include him in heaven. I'm really sincere. Yeah, we know you sincere. Full of sin. Matter of fact, they say, the devil, sin entered into the world by one man, and that's you. Full of sin, sincere. Well, and the wages of sin is death. Yeah. I'm finished with you, brother. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir, Father. I can like it.
Walaikum salam.
Yes, sir, Father. I would like to know, to share how the relationship between family members, biological family members that are with you, how it should be.
That's my biological. What you do is this. Never equate somebody's loyalty or honesty based on their relationship with me. You have to go by what they do of truth. Base that. My son or my daughter, that don't mean if that's what you're talking about. Or even the wives, or if you with me in the circle with me.
I'm asking, like if I had a sister, a mother, and an idea.
Oh, you talking about in the idea?
Yes, sir. How should the relationship of my biological family?
That's in the nation.
Yes, sir.
How should it be? You all should be as one. You should be very happy. You should be able, because you can relate to each other. You can speak about things of life that is real because you live in it. So you all should be very, very tight on right. Not tight because of blood. That don't mean nothing. Because Satan is in the blood too. Is that answering the question?
Yes, sir.
It's a wonderful thing to have someone that's in the family that can relate to what you're doing, because that's what family means, to be familiar with. If they're familiar with, and you all can dialogue, you can relate, you can agree, you can sort out things, you can make things happen, you are a unit. That's extremely blessed. Because there's nothing that comes up where the one person has to handle it. When you jump on the one, you got to jump on all. Because, all is together, all is one, and one is all. That's an extremely blessed situation. If it's not like that, something's wrong. It's like saying, yes, I'm in the world, but I'm not of it. Yeah, you in the family, you in the nation, but you're not of it. So you have a whole bunch of problems. However, if you're really in it for what it really is, and all of you all are going by what you are learning and the math of it, hey, ain't nothing sweeter. Okay? All right. See, you can have a baby. Okay. Bring him up. In the house of God. Yes, sir. Last question. Last question there.
Yes, sir. I'd first like to publicly thank Brother Alfred Forex for inviting me, and I had an opportunity to hear you last Sunday. I have primarily two questions. You mentioned protecting the nation last week, and you said something about establishing a police force. I'd like to know what's your recommendation for the first step to assist you in making that a manifested reality?
Well, the first step, you have to really understand what is needed. And you have to really be willing to share the knowledge. If you have knowledge of that, if you're a handyman or if you work in a prison, if you know how to set up a system that actually does that, you have to be willing to share the knowledge. Not come in to be a big eye or whatever. You have to be willing to come in to share it, set the plan up, then help you execute it and work it. But if you have everybody looking at you as though you're the big man, and they're looking at you, they're gonna mess up. They're gonna mess up. You got to come in and share with them. Now, this is how it is done, not this is how I do it. Then everybody be looking at you, and they're gonna mess up something because they're looking at you. So that's the first thing. Then after that, well, then if you're willing to come to heaven, and you're willing to go under the strict laws that are there, you ain't got no problem. You'll be the man. I got a man standing here right here, he knows quite a bit himself. I got another man that's already working in prison, in the prison guard or whatnot, and he just stepped in the other day, since last Sunday, he stepped in and he started giving some things as to how this police force should be. And the only reason why we're bringing up a police force of that kind is to familiarize the public that's looking on that we are willing to defend what we have made. Not to do any harm, but just to make the presence. If they do try to do something, we ain't going to just have a president sitting and watching. No, we're going to take them out. But we're going to show, all up until now, we've been gathering ourselves, gathering our strength, gathering our unity, doing that. Now we've got quite a few things going. And because when we raised the flag last Independence, last 4th of July, we raised this flag in front of our university on the flagpole. White people across the street got mad, came over, and I'll show you how crazy white folks are. There come 2 white boys come across the street, and you weren't there with me. Well, good you wasn't. They live right across the street. They come across the street bringing a Rottweiler, I think it was. There's the sisters and the brothers trying to get on our bus, transportation. They can bring them all over and whatnot. So the brother steps in and says, no, brother. No, man. You got to take that dog on the other side. No, he got it right. This is a public sidewalk, and we can walk on no, sir. You're not going to do that. So we made him take the dog on the other side, or get off, sidewalk. He goes to take the dog in the house, runs back out. Then he's going to come back over and just lunge at the brother, punch my son-in-law in the face. There's a billion black men standing there. That show you how much they think of black people. He's going to just run around and just punch the man in the face. So naturally, he got his 2 bones broken. Had to be taken to the hospital. So when he finally goes to court, he's mad because they want to go to court right away. And the lawyer goes down there for us and says, no, we're not going right away. You gave us some summons and whatnot. So what we will do, when we have our next celebration and people come in from out of town, we'll have the trial then. Is that all right with you, Judge? He said, yes, that's fine with me. They had a fit. They had a pink, Starlight white folk fit. Who is these niggas that can set it back that kind of time? That's 6 months. Yes, it's 6 months. You have to wait until then. They left out of the courtroom mad. Finally, the 6 months rolled around. They went to trial, and the judge said, we're throwing the whole thing out. We found that y'all is perpetrators. They got extremely mad. On the way out, we walking out. We didn't even have to say nothing. The judge took care of it. We were surprised ourselves. But it's good to have a God, you know what I mean? So on the way out, they said, it ain't over with yet, niggas. Oh, really? Okay. So they waited until they tracked us and seen when the security went to different places and whatnot. So when they seen we wasn't at the filling station, they went back and shut up all the windows in the filling station. White folks. So they said, Father, what you would do? I said, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. Call the police. Let them pick up all this spent shell. I doubt if they can get in the fingerprints because of the heat that comes on, but call them in anyhow. They came down, and the police wanted to take it, well, oh, that's just a property, that's just a property damage. Oh, no, sir. You're not going to treat it like that. You're going to get that. We're going to call down the forensic people and whatnot. We call the captain up. And the captain said, well, what? He was up picking up the bill. Put that so-and-so on the phone. So we put the policeman on the phone and said, your captain wants to speak to you. When he finished talking to them and whatnot, he left the rest of them alone. And the forensic people came. So the things is still in motion. And they're letting us know they didn't. They're coming up with some more evidence where they will stand up in court and they will go to jail. But guess who is the author of what will happen to them whether they go to jail or not? You see? So now, and the detractors, oh, they went crazy with that. They think we did somebody wrong and the black people's coming up shooting up the place. Black people ain't come to shoot up nothing. We took care of them when we first got there. They don't come up against us in Kansas. Black people do not come up against us. That was white folks. You hear what I'm saying? Yes, sir. So if you know how to do it, this is why we're setting up the police force, so to say, or the security, or the Royal security. We set that up. And if you are really inclined for that, what you don't know, when you go to sleep, I'll give you what you don't know. So when you wake up, it'll be the company, you'll be talking to the man. And I'm quite sure you want to be involved in that too, right?
My other question, the sister kind of opened the door with our family. My personal situation, I'm single, marriage-minded, and I've been celibate for 3 years.
Wait, you said marriage-minded?
Yes, sir. And I'd like to know how to move from being single to being married.
Well, you look to be like a pretty handsome brother. And if you come with me, what the sisters look for is someone that is stable in their thinking. They're looking for a man. If you have boyish activities or attributes about yourself, whatnot, they might like you, but they're going to stay away as far as being a wife. They want to make sure that you can secure them because you secure yourself. When you're with them, you're a man, but you're considerate. You're a man, but you're loving. You're a man, but you're understanding. You're a man, but you're kind. It'd be 4 or 5 of them at one time, so you can take your you can take your pick. That's all you got to do. Just be. And the sisters, they'll ask your father, when's some more brothers coming to heaven? I said, we need some more? Yes, sir. Well, what about the brothers here? Well, they ain't showing that they're a man yet. Well, what can I say? And they'll be coming. One brother came from Lewis camp, nice looking brother. I think all the sisters put in the bed for him. I said, hold up. Most of you put the bed in for the brother's too old. So I'm going to protect the brother. No. But that's what you do. I am very human. I really am. Because I'm so secure in being me, I can afford to be that way. And if you or any other brother that's looking to be married, if you conduct yourself in this kind of manner, where you're not where you're not worried and uptight, halfway frazzled, and you got to be so, even with the knowledge. You got to be so perfect with the knowledge, and you got to be, enunciation and pronunciation, and your ads and your verbs got to be in it. You're scared. You got to be where they can talk to you and you can talk back. And it's got to be somebody that you can do a certain measure of teaching, and they'll learn. If you get somebody you can't teach, that ain't your way. But you come with me, brother. I got a few eyes, and I'm certainly glad I do. Because sometimes I look at the black man, I say, damn, if I didn't have you, I think I'm not loved at all. And you got to love me because you're with me all the time, and I don't have no money. I'm one of the brokest person on the planet. I don't have no money. Come out here one night, the brother said, look, Father, you come out here, we'll pay your expenses. I said, please, because you will have to. If you don't, I ain't going to make it. Most people think, well, like they wrote in the Royall is robbing the people, and he's living in Baltimore, Maryland, like a king. I ain't live in Baltimore. My home that I call home is in a cul-de-sac. A house that's built on a lake. If not careful, the basement is always wet. the house is owned by a black woman. And because I started off this way, I want to give every black person a chance to receive something from me. We keep her home like it's mine. She never has to pay for anything. The garage door keeps going, the motor keeps going out on it, we replace it. The house needs paint, we paint it. Need new appliances in the kitchen, we put it in. We don't call her and say so-and-so, and every time she comes to check, she says, she brings people with her. I just want to bring them because I want them to see how you all treat my property. You see? So if I wanted something for me, I would do the same thing Lewis did. Rob the people and don't give a damn about it. And then ask you for more money. And see how much I can get. But no. So the women or the wives that's with me, they know I don't have no money. Because most of them is the secretary. They the one going to the bank putting it in. And writing the checks out. I just sign it. Writing the checks out for the bill. So this suit that I got on is a tailor that makes it for me. And so we got our own. You more than I should. Only because she's precise and beautiful. I mean, I can't help that. I was just smiling right along with him because he told the truth. That's right. However, just because they came in his place and the aura that we had made him do this. So the suit you see wearing, that's what he blessed me with because I blessed him. And matter of fact, Brother Captain was with us. We went over to look at a place to get a restaurant started here. When we walked in, what did the woman say? Brother, do you remember what she said? You want to tell her? Or you want me to tell her? The wives walked in first with the captain. Captain standing right here with the microphone. They said, what is this? The angels are coming in. The heavens has opened this door and sent the angels here. And then I stepped in. They ain't said nothing about you. When they took us all through the place and showed us, what is and what isn't. And they would like for us to have it, but they just went into contract with somebody else, and they have not come up with the rest of the money what they said they would come up with, so they're on hold. But they hope we get it. You see? We went down to buy some fabric. I got a pickup outside. The back of it is filled up with fabric. I'm carrying back to the sewing factory from here. So the sewing factory can make garments for our people. Not for me. Not for me. My wife hadn't had anything new almost for 2 years. I told her, look, baby, when we go ahead this time, I'm saving up money week by week, so whatnot, and I want you to have at least $500 or $600. I'd like for you to have $1,000. When you get out there, take a little time and go shopping. You know what she did? Went and took money, most of it, and bought it for the sewing factory. Not for her, for the sewing factory. And I said, why'd you do that? Now I got to give you back my money. I ain't got the $600. Well, I called Brother Alfred. I do some money. I don't know what to call me for flowers. But they did come up with some. I said, man, this is something. They came up with another $1,000. With $1,200? Where'd y'all come up with? $1,200. And they come up with another $200 on that, right? You know what they did? Went back and bought some more fabric. Now, I don't know how I'm going to get this stuff back. Because I come out here almost loaded. Now I got another load, plus I still got to take what I brought. I better be God. Oh, who is it? Oh, this is it? Okay, you can cut it off. Was that it?
Yes, sir. Thanks for answering my question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You better hurry up.
Yes, sir, Father. The most profound thing that the individual shared, that when we went into the place that we were looking at, the property.
Yes, sir.
The man sitting there said it looked like angels coming from heaven. Yes, he created heaven, so we're building heaven. So,
yes, sir. And believe me, when they came to me, they weren't looking like that. They were not looking. I'm the only one that ain't changed. I'm having fun, but this is true. Everyone with me now that is a wife, they're beautiful. They dress beautiful. Their attitude is beautiful. Their knowledge is beautiful. They're just plain beautiful. Love you, babe. I'm going to let go.